Welcome. Hey everybody, how are you doing? Good to see you guys. Y'all, like whenever I was it when was the last time I went live? I think it was Friday. So a lot's happened, right? But I woke up this morning, but I didn't know it was morning. It was like it's I woke up at 6 and it was dark outside. We have a camera and we have it, pointing outside, of course. And then so I looked at the camera and it was dark and I was like, "Oh no. Oh no. I thought I missed my live stream." And I was like, "Crap, I'll just have to reschedule it for Monday." And then I fell back asleep for good God, Lord knows how long. What, probably 12 hours since I woke up again. And it was like, I want to say, well, that does sound like 12 hours then. Haven't even put any thought into this, but so yeah. And anyways, but I woke up again and I was like, "Crap." And then I was like, "Oh, it's 6 in the m it was 6 in the morning on Sunday." And I was like, "Oh my god. I am a goofball." But however, Friday when we talked, I didn't expect to, like, react the way that I did to Lori. It really just pissed me off more than it didn't. And I watched Colby. I had watched Megan before I went live. I was trying to, get in where I fit in, but I watched Colby later, and he validated a lot of how I already felt. So I was like, "Okay, so I'm not wrong," or being too sensitive, oversensitive, or what have you. But it made me feel like, "Okay, I'm not crazy." And Lori is a controlling you know what, and it just is what it is, but on the other hand, or on this, yeah, on the other hand, it's like it we can't get through this fast enough, if you ask me. Will it be a shit show? Abso-freaking-lutely. Oh, yeah. Will, um I just think it's wrong. I think it's wrong. I don't think that they should be able to just do that. It's like we cater to their rights, their rights, their rights, their rights, cheese and rice, their rights. But they not one time, not even after the fact, not even after or post conviction, have they even felt one smidgen of remorse. None. It's gone. I don't think they possess it. Speaking of possession, anyways, it's very disappointing and it's crazy really, and I mean, but I still can't help but think how this is like her last hurrah. She really does not have anything to lose. She I mean, another point that I've, gleaned, I guess, over this time off or, to watch other people, to get other opinions, to get their take on things and is that perhaps with Lori's defense in her Idaho trial, perhaps because I even heard today from, the court TV one of the court TV correspondents, I don't know his name, Matthew maybe? No, I'm not sure, but he said that the one day he would or one day when he was in Lori's at Lori's oh my god, let's try this again. There was one day he was at Lori's trial, okay, and he said that she obviously wanted to testify, and I didn't know this, but she he this according to this Court TV news correspondent, said that Lori wanted to testify at her trial, but her lawyers wouldn't let her, and I'm like, "Oh, geez," I mean, if that's true, then yeah, she was probably wanting to testify on the pulpit that day. But, um, and so she, I guess, abided by her counsel, you know? I mean, that's what they're there for, allegedly. And it just doesn't make sense to me, what she's doing, how she's going about it. It's not a good look for her if she's wanting to save any kind of face. I mean, if this is about Lori, like I think it is, like it appears that it is, then I think that this ain't the way. This is not the way at all. Hey there, how are you? Hey Donna. I heard she was mad because her lawyers made her look stupid. Hers looked stupid. Well, I'm not saying much because I mean, I've graduated high school. I went and did a little bit of college and yeah, there's that. So, but I'm just saying, there's a lot of things I think that factor into this too. It's the fact that, you know, women in her faith, they are a lot of times silenced for the most part. You notice how she whispers really loud, right? I'm like, good Lord. That's how my daughter whispers. And I'm like, I can hear you way over here. You know? Anyways, but that's just me poking fun at her. But you know, that religion seems to kind of mute the ladies, in my opinion, from what I've researched and what I've observed. And that's why they kind of all tend to have that mousy voice, me, 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 you know, the little baby voice somewhat. Well, I think that's manipulation too. You know, you talk to your kids like that when they're babies, but you know, come on, you don't talk baby talk forever because then your baby will talk like that. Your kid will talk like that. Anywho, and let's see what else. And another, I mean, I think a lot has to do with the culture of her faith, her religious institution that she grew up in. So, you know, just not allowing them to be outspoken really. Um, just wanting to, and she's a control freak. And so I was even thinking, like, can you imagine what that must have been like for the kids, for all the kids to grow up with her as their mother and her just always wanting, you know, perfecting, wanting them to be perfect in this and that. And if not, because that's a reflection of her, right? So if her children aren't looking good according to her society's standards, then I mean, can you imagine? And just knowing that like Tylee spent a lot of time in her room. I don't blame her. I don't damn blame her. I really don't, to escape the madness. I don't blame her. I mean, hell, I do it. I do it because I'm just an introvert. I really am an introvert more than I thought. Hey, I was so angry for all of you. It's triggering for some of us. Who knows people like her? Yeah. And like Megan was saying, you know, she's because we all know these manipulative people. And really, I do, other than Lori, you know, like I have other kinfolk, and I'm just like, whoa, you know, but we don't really, I don't know. I don't know. I just always chalked it off to, oh, okay, they're just jealous or whatever. I don't know. Not I don't think anybody's I don't think I'm all that to be jealous of. I'm just saying, you know, it wasn't always to do with me, so to speak. But yeah, she wants to be on the Lori show. Exactly. She wants to drive that narrative. Okay, so I made something. I did it really quick. And so I'm a push play. Now, anyways. So just bear with me. In the very beginning, there's a raccoon that goes across the screen. You'll see. And then so it's quiet. There's no sound. And then it'll
Breaking news out of Arizona, where a judge just ruled doomsday cult mom Lori Vallow will represent herself at trial. This comes after the judge ruled yesterday that the convicted killer is mentally competent to stand trial. She is awaiting trial in Arizona on charges of murdering her fourth husband, Charles Vallow, and attempting to kill her niece's ex-husband, Brandon Boudreaux. Let's get you into court now there in Arizona for this hearing.
I make good on my promises. Judge wanted to know in Arizona what qualifications Lori Vallow might have to be her own lawyer in a murder trial. And here's how it went. Here you go. You're welcome.
Is it your intention, ma'am, you had expressed earlier that you would like to represent yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that still your intention?
Yes, Your Honor.
You do understand that you have the right to have attorneys represent you during your cases?
I do.
There are serious disadvantages and dangers to representing yourself. Can you just tell me a little bit why you want to represent yourself?
Yes, Your Honor. For the past 5 years that I've been incarcerated, I have taken upon myself to study case law and criminal rules of procedure in the state of Idaho and Arizona, as well as federally. Prior to that, for the last 10 years, prior to my incarceration, I did study procedure in family law, and I have real trial experience. I have participated in 3 different full trials from beginning to end.
In family court?
1 in family court, 2 in criminal court, 1 bench trial and 1 jury trial.
Okay.
Real trial experience. Not trying a case, being tried. Maybe the truest words Vallow ever spoke in a court of law.
Stupid. I told you. Anyways, Eric with the docket. He's the docket. He had made some, forget what they're called, wombos or something a long time ago. And it's actually to Taylor Swift. And it's like, I knew you were trouble when you walked in. And then it goes, wah! Anyways. And so I have Melanie P. I have Judge Boyce. I have Jim Archibald. Mark Means. Summer. Janice. He did them all. I mean, he did them all. Anyways. But the other ones go to ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah, ting, tang, walla, walla, bing, bang. Anyway, so there's that. Aloha from Kauai. And I'm not related to the bad Bowen. Thank you, Lord. Yay. We're so glad to hear that. Oh, yeah. I guess I'm a stickler for names. I don't even realize how much I am. And yeah, so, all right, let me get this show on the road, right? Okay, so what I did was crap. Okay, hold on. I opened some windows and then they play. As soon as I click on them, it's a little scary. Okay, hold on. Okay, there it is. I was like, where'd it go? Not already. We're not starting out like this. Let me do this. Let me go up here. Oh. Okay. Sirens are going off. It's like they must do like practices or not practices, but I don't know what you call it. That's not my job. Okay, let's see. Yeah, okay. I got it. I had gone over some of Lawyer Lee, her take on Lori, and she made some really good points. I thought about emailing her and just seeing if she'd want to come on. I know she's quite busy though, but thought it'd be worth a try. All I can do is try, and all they can do is tell me no, right? That's how I look at it. So we'll just kind of go over some of her things, and then we'll get into Alex Cox. I know, there's your warning. So I screen recorded them, and then, I just have them ready.
All the statements that she made, because of course she was being convicted of murdering someone she had never met and who was married to the man that she married just 2 weeks after Tammy Daybell died. And so that was especially difficult for a lot of people to stomach, because that statement suggested that she and Tammy were friends and that Tammy forgave her and thought this was all fine, had visited her on several occasions and was very happy in heaven. So that's the kind of thing I think we can expect. What is the
Okay.
result going to be? How is this going to change the trial? And the first thing I want to say is I think this will be a spectacle of major, epic proportions. And it's going to be a significant headache for everybody involved in the actual trial itself. When you think about it, the judge has to constantly be thinking about appeal. The prosecutor has to constantly be thinking about appeal. How can they make sure that Lori Vallow Daybell is receiving a fair trial when she doesn't know what she's doing, when she has a lot of misconceptions, a lot of difficulty understanding what's actually happening, but she's permitted under the law to represent herself? How do they guard against an appeal? So that is something everybody there is going to have to be thinking about nonstop, is how do we protect this record so that we try the case only once and the result we get is the end result. So it's also going to create problems because there's going to be a lack of knowledge of the rules. She's not going to know a lot of the objections. It's unlikely that she'll make a lot of objections. She won't know when, she'll miss them. It could make a difference then on appeal. It's going to be extremely difficult too for the victims, because the victims are going to be cross-examined by Lori Vallow Daybell attorney, and not real attorney, but attorney for a day, if you will.
An actual criminal attorney.
She's going to be allowed to cross-examine Brandon Boudreaux when he gets on the stand, Kay Woodcock when she gets on the stand, and probably other people, whoever gets called at trial. That is going to be an extremely awkward, uncomfortable event for the people who are testifying, who believe she murdered their loved ones. It's just very difficult. It's going to be an awkward, terrible situation from their point of view, from the victims and victims' families' point of view. It's going to be hard for Lori Vallow Daybell also to do just some of the practical things she's going to need to do, like get witnesses, serve subpoenas on witnesses. So the attorneys will, I'm sure, help her, and an investigator was appointed to help her, but just it's practically speaking going to be hard for her. The cross-examination, when she gets to it for the various witnesses, is going to be wild, because she knows these people personally. She knows their histories. They have history with each other, and they know her personally as well. So for the ones who are actual witnesses related to the events, as opposed to, say, law enforcement, she's going to have personal information, and it's going to be very difficult to control during cross-examination about what gets asked and what comes in. That'll be a challenge for the judge. I think we can also expect a lot of tangents, just like we saw in her statement during the sentencing hearing. I think we can expect tangents with questions that will seem irrelevant to most of the people in the courtroom, but that will have some coherence with her theory about what happened. And so there's going to be a longer cross-examination while she tries to get into areas that the judge is going to be unsure are even related. And then finally, I think appeal is an issue, because everybody has to constantly be thinking, how do we keep this from being an appeal issue? How do we make sure that we guard this particular trial and the results here, and we don't have to do anything to protect it afterwards? We don't have to try it again. In other words, we don't have to ever do this again. We want to do it one time. We want it to be done.
Please.
Let me say thank you to a couple of people, and then I want to talk for just a minute about how I believe this could really hurt Lori Vallow Daybell. And we'll talk.
And I want to hear that. I want to hear how it's going to hurt her. But let's see. There's that one. This is not one. I know I actually got quite a bit from her, but I really like her take on it. All right, let's see what this one says.
Represent himself. I personally felt like it did go too far.
Some of Daryl Brooks.
Hand this back.
The court finds your waiver to an attorney is knowingly, intelligently, voluntarily made. I guess I should ask you, did anyone force you or threaten you to waive your right to an attorney?
Quite the opposite.
No, quite the opposite.
Does anyone promise you anything in order to get you to waive your right to an attorney?
No.
All right. I do find your waiver is to knowingly, intelligently, voluntarily made. Your waiver is accepted and entered a record. You will be your own attorney on the case. My understanding is there's a large amount of discovery.
So let me hold off on that for a second. So he set trial for March 31st for jury selection. Charles Vallow, as I understood it, is the first case. Then a separate case for Brandon Boudreaux will go forward, but they haven't even set the date for that. The first case out of the box will be March 31st, and then the second one will be set at some later date. Now, the court appointed an investigator to help her, or said he would appoint one, and also asked her, are you sure you don't need more time?
You're sure that you're going to be ready in time for March 31st?
Yes, Your Honor. Also, I have a reply to the state's response.
part.
I know that we said if you were to
That's
let me go
aggravating.
pro per, that I would have 3 days to make this response, and I have a copy for the court and a copy for the state.
You've been found competent.
So let me remove that. And so she is ready there.
Rude.
She's got her assignment ready to go. It reminds me of, something out of high school. Oh, you wanted my assignment in. I got a response to their brief and it's ready to go. I want you to know I haven't been sitting around. I'm ready to represent myself. And here's my very first pleading in proof that I'm actually ready and going to do it. Now, she called herself very prepared. She said she had, quote, real trial experience. And like I said, you can't really argue with that. She's already been present at a murder trial, for example.
Yes.
So she said she studied family law for 10 years. She feels totally ready for this. So just how bad could it be? We're about to explore that. I want to say thank you to a few people. Michael, thank you for that. And I appreciate your email very much. And Cutley, thank you very much for your super chat. I appreciate that. And Annie K has, in fact, been a member since the very first day.
That's it. And then I think one more right here. 1, 2. Let's see what this one is.
For those of you who are wondering, what is going to be the huge case of 2025? What's going to be the biggest true crime case? Well, the answer is, surprisingly enough, not going to be Brian Kohberger. That's going to be huge. That's going to be a really important, very large case. But I'm convinced the most talked about trial of 2025 is going to be the Lori Vallow Daybell case.
That's crazy.
As of yesterday, we learned that she is deemed competent to stand trial. I'll go through what that means. We'll talk about it. I'll play you a little clip from the hearing. She today was deemed competent enough or she was deemed able to represent herself. So Lori Vallow Daybell will be actually representing herself at trial. Are we headed for Daryl Brooks 2.0? What could possibly go wrong in this scenario?
Nothing.
That's what we're going to be talking about tonight. So a brief overview of the case for those of you who might be new to it. Lori Vallow Daybell is infamous for already having been convicted of murdering her 2 children, JJ, age 7, and Tylee, age 16, and her lover, soon to be husband's wife, Tammy Daybell. Lori Vallow Daybell then married her lover, Chad Daybell, who currently sits on death row, also convicted of the very same things Lori Vallow Daybell was convicted of. Lori Vallow Daybell and Chad then married after his wife was out of the way. And so they are now a couple, but separated, of course, in different prisons.
Good to see you.
But before any of those 3 people were murdered, there was another murder. Charles Vallow, Lori's husband at the time, was shot by her brother, Alex. And someone driving Tylee, her daughter's Jeep, shot at Lori's nephew-in-law, Brandon Boudreaux. Authorities again think that was Alex, Lori's brother.
Sure did. I forgot about that.
They think Lori Vallow Daybell was behind both murders. She is accused in Arizona of the attempted murder of Brandon Boudreaux and a murder conspiracy for the death of her her husband at the time, estranged, Charles Vallow.
Yeah.
Now, she wanted to represent herself at trial, but her lawyers objected, and her lawyers thought she should be evaluated to see whether she is mentally competent.
And she was offended.
She got new lawyers who argued for her that she didn't need to be evaluated, but the judge said, I want an evaluation anyway. So tonight we're going to cover 3 topics. First, why the court found her competent, what that means, and why. Why the court says she can represent herself, and what it's going to mean for Lori Vallow Daybell and for the not 1, but actually 2 trials that are coming up. Now, I want to say a special shout out to the first 5 in the chat tonight.
Okay. All right. So Thank you, Lawyer Lee. If y'all haven't subscribed to her, please go and do so. I think she's a wealth of knowledge. Yeah, I just like her. I like her. I like listening to a lot of them. I was like, I have not heard from Scott Reich in a while. And so, um, yeah, I had to look him up because, he gets out of people get out of my algorithm and I have to go and pursue the algorithm again. So, anyways, thank y'all for coming. Everybody that's coming in, thank you for showing up and being here, and I appreciate your time. And yeah, yeah, exactly right. I don't want to make too much fun because I'm getting older, and it's not as easy. I'm just like, okay, I got to put effort in. I don't want to do effort. Ugh. I think she might have a sixth husband. I think Daryl and her make an interesting couple. Can you imagine the complications and the arguments that they're both right? Can you imagine? Hey, Janetta, it's good to see you. And again, Miss Linda Keneal, good to see you. And Liza Joe, Lori asking the victims questions is a travesty. This trial will be a mockery. It's unfortunate. And I wish that, and I hate it. It's like my body's rejecting this when I say this. So, for lack of better term, I think I'm pretty sure I would have a lot more, and take this loosely, respect for Lori Vallow Daybell if she would just plead guilty and save the drama, because that's all this is drama. Plead guilty. We know what you did. Okay. And let's move on and just save all this heartache and hurt. I never thought about this aspect of it once the other trials were the other trial was adjudicated. I was just like, I'd never really sat here with these feelings with this exact situation prior to her being convicted in, Idaho. So this is like a whole new, like, I don't know how I feel. I just know how I thought I felt. And anyways, it's just bad. It's bad, and it's embarrassing in a way. I mean, I know you can pick you can't pick your family, but you can if it's your uncle's wife. You're related to your uncle. I'm just like, oh my god, but it doesn't make it nicer at all. And I'm thinking, how the hell did I not see just a big walking red flag, but I mean, then again, you also have to realize that these people present themselves to you a certain way. And I really think she just got to a point where she just kind of snapped. I think that factors into this. And it's like and I'm not saying she went totally, from a great, great, great Disney mom to what we see today, but I do think that she was very unhappy in her marriage. And, a lot of people think that when you have a new baby, whenever, well, in this case, they adopted a baby. And so you just kind of throw things like that together and think that's going to unite the couple, but it does not. And then not only that, but on top of everything else, JJ had special needs, and he was a very needy, dependent child that I don't think Lori could not handle. And it's sad. Okay. It's sad because I don't think she handled him most of the time. I think it was between Charles, Colby, Tylee, and whomever was a nanny and this and that. It doesn't seem like she was really all that hands on after all. And I want to say, there's what was it? I'll have to think about it, but I just don't think there was a lot of, I want to say it came from Janice or something, but I want to be accurate. But it just didn't feel like Janice was very fond of the idea of JJ being adopted, or I don't know. I just don't feel like she was attached to him, Janice, and others. They don't quite. There's just something the way they talk, especially when it pertains to even Tylee too, though. They're just very skin deep, Nothing more than that, and then that makes it sound like I'm judgy, but I'm really just trying to understand why Lori is the way she is, and I think that that comes from source, which is Janice. You know, there's 2 out of all those kids that were killers, and that's alarming to me. That's like, whoa, that's not normal. And I mean, so what if I ask questions? So what if we ask questions and want to know more? I don't think that's a too much to ask. I think that again, it just goes to that whole if you ask questions, then you're against me type of thinking. That black and white thinking, if you're not for me, you're against me. If you don't support me, then you are a P file, like Tim Ballard thinks. Same with Jody Hildebrand. Same with all of them. I swear, it's very closed minded. And so if I ask questions, then I become a zombie or I'm dark or, lack for a better term. Okay, let me do this. Whoa, hey. Let me try this. Okay. All right, let me take a swig. So this is actually, let me make sure it's on there. Yeah, okay. And I can go ahead and let me take a copy. Let me copy the link and I will put the link in the chat. Hey mom. Hey, how are you doing? Here's the FOIA docs. If anybody wants to open them up yourself, they're in my Dropbox and you can follow along or whatever. I gave the link out a long time ago, or I don't remember when, but it was in my description box, and it still is in a couple of my live streams from probably about a year ago, I would say. So I know MB, I know she's so sweet, lawyerly, and she lost her husband, and I mean, I was just like, oh God, I mean, she's just, I don't know, I like her take on things. She's really good at it. Yeah. Okay. So what we're gonna go over is Alex Cox's, which is a weird thing. Those 2 names are weird to push together. Alex Cox is just weird. I don't like it. And we're gonna go over the supplemental report. This is from Nathan Moffat. This is the Chandler Police Department. These are the FOIA docs from Chandler. These are the 1,108 pages. Okay, this is a big file. And then we have Gilbert, which is more Brandon's case. Chandler is Charles. Gilbert is mostly Brandon. Although there's a police report and stuff like that from Gilbert where Bishop Gay Bonilla spoke with law enforcement and really dumbed it down or minimized it. I'll say minimized it. I really think so, especially knowing that, in order for Lori to get a temple recommend, she had to do interviews with her bishop. Okay. Ding, 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 ding. Bishop Gay Bonilla. I mean, I'm just taking a poke. I'm poking around there, wondering. So, I mean, if I don't know, but if Gay Bonilla was, I mean, Uncle Charles called him bishop. So I'm just assuming that maybe that was their bishop, but I don't know if it still was. Either way, it's just I know that people can lie and most likely do lie in their temple questions interview with their stake president and their bishop. And the way that Lori wanted to obtain her temple recommend and basically use it and say, it's either murder or it's either my temple recommend or I'm going to commit murder. And she did both, actually. So that really doesn't make sense. She don't even live up to her own words. But I really think that Gabe Bonilla, out of this little portion I'm talking about right now, I know there's a lot of things that let them down, but I feel like Gabe Bonilla let them down, let my uncle down. I mean, I'm glad he was there to pick him up and to help him scoot around town because his truck was hidden and everything else. But it just seems a little weird for Melanie Gibb to be relaying the fact that Gabe Bonilla was calling her on the phone, asking her why there were so many, such a police presence or ambulance, emergency presence at Zalima and now Alex's house, right? Whenever Alex died. So I just find that odd and a little too close for comfort. And again, I'll never understand these people, and I really don't think I want to. But I mean, because they've not shown any kind of remorse, none of them. Nobody in this whole group. Um, Nobody has said, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Is there anything I can do? I'm so sorry." And, maybe talk it out about why they did what they did, or none of them. They're all mothers and fathers and grandparents, even. Jason Mal wrote a children's book. That should just, whoa, dude. No, hell no. Hell no. It's nuts. They blow me away with their uh grandeur, their delusions of grandeur. Anywho, all right. So this is Alex Cox, and this is actually, what the hell does this say? It says related date, July 23rd, 2019. Wonder why. Unless that's a supplement. Hold on. I just noticed that. Okay, well, we're just gonna. It's one I read the other night to Jason out loud, and we were just like, whoa. That doesn't, he just said right here this, and then so feel free, please, to jot down any inconsistencies, because I think it's important, if you don't mind. Anyway, so this is page 59 in the 1108 FOIA docs, and I left the link down in the chat. Okay, I can't freaking, I'm fat, y'all. I can't breathe. All right. Narrative. It says on 7/11/19 at about 8:45 hours, Detective Sergeant Lockwood informed me that patrol officers were en route to a shooting call at 5531 South Four Peaks Drive in Chandler. I researched the call and observed the caller had advised he had shot his brother-in-law during an altercation. While en route to the residence, I heard an officer advise dispatch that the person who had been shot had been pronounced deceased. So that means before, there were no life-saving measures to be had, because, I mean, and for anybody who doesn't know anything about this case, then holy crap. Okay, so it says, upon arrival at the scene, I was briefed by Officer, I think, Cratham, on the incident. I'm just going to say K. Officer K said he had talked to the 911 caller, who was later identified as Alexander Cox. Officer K said Alexander told him that his sister, Lori Vallow, had gotten into a verbal altercation with her estranged husband, Charles Vallow, who does not reside at the residence but had come that morning to take their son to school, as per plan. Alexander said after Lori left the residence, he and Charles got into an argument. So after that, I didn't even catch that the other day. The whole argument is based on the fact that Charles was intimidating and threatening Lori. So how are you going to say after Lori left, you and Charles got in a fight? That doesn't make sense. Anyway, make it make sense. Oh my God. Okay. Alexander said after Lori left the residence, he and Charles got into an argument, and Charles came after him with a bat, so he shot him in self-defense. Why? It was decided that I would be the case agent on this case, and Detective Coons would be the scene agent. Let me take a sip. Okay. It says Detective Yinklin, I think that's how you say it, escorted Lori Vallow and her daughter, Tylee Ryan, back to the police department to be interviewed. Alexander Cox was transported back to the Chandler Police Department by Officer K. Detective Yinklin interviewed Lori Vallow and Tylee Ryan while I interviewed Alex Cox. I interviewed Alex Cox in the downstairs interview room in regards to this incident. My interview with Alex was audio and video recorded and saved to evidence.com under this report number. Okay. The following is a synopsis of my interview with Alex Cox. For full details, refer to the original audio recording. Upon entering the room, I introduced myself to Alex. I told Alex that I wanted to walk through what happened during the incident. This is going to be a long one. Okay. I obtained personal information from Alex. Wait, did I say that already? Okay. I obtained personal information from Alex and then asked him to walk me through what happened. Alex told me he stayed the night at Lori's because they were going to do something the next morning. I guess without JJ, because JJ was going to go to school. So just know that. Okay. And it says, here I go. I shouldn't have done that. Okay. Because they were going to do something the next morning. Okay. Alex said they were possibly going to go shooting, which he did, I'll say, or maybe go to a water park or a movie. Alex said Lori's husband showed up at the residence and he was not sure what started the altercation. Up there, it said that, it was after Lori left. Nobody asked him to say that. That's what he said. It's like, no, they're just trying to nail your story down, dude. And he cannot keep it to literally save his life. Okay. Alex said Charles was following Lori and yelling at her, and he got in between them. Alex said Tylee came out with her bat. Alex said Lori had gone back into the living room, and Charles was still following her and yelling. Alex said Tylee had taken her bat and shoved Charles with it. Alex said Charles then took the bat from Tylee. Alex said he asked Charles what he was doing and then got between them. Charles then hit him with the bat. Alex said he went down, and when he got back up, Charles was still yelling, so he went and got his gun. He went back and told Charles, hold on, Charles, I know you're enraged right now, and you have, the strength of 10,000 damn zombies or whatever. Oh, my God. Hold on, though. Pause. And then he went to his room, okay, got his gun. He retrieved his gun. And then he comes back and he's like, okay, game on, whatever. That's some bullshit, man. Just that right there that doesn't add up in my mind at all. Okay. So, okay, then it says, I shouldn't have stopped. Okay. He went back and told Charles to put the bat down because, right? Alex said Charles came at him and was asking him what he was going to do. Alex said he told Charles to put the bat down and he came at him. I asked Alex where Lori and Charles were in the house when the argument started, and he said he did not know. This dude is crazy. I asked Alex where he was when he heard the argument, and he said he was in the guest bedroom that he had slept in. Alex said he heard the argument when they started coming towards the bedroom. I asked Alex what he first saw, and he said Charles was following Lori and yelling. Alex said Charles was coming at Lori aggressively, so he got between them and pushed Charles back. Alex said after he shoved Charles, he came right back and was yelling past Alex at Lori. Alex said this all happened right near the doorway of the room he was staying in. Alex said Charles then backed up and Lori came around behind them, and they all ended up in the living room. Alex said while they were on their way to the living room is when Tylee came out. Did he already say? Okay, here we go. Okay, because the story's going to get repeated a lot. See right here, he says Tylee came out with her bat. So I'm just trying to figure out, we're already looping, okay? Okay, Alex said while they were on their way to the living room is when Tylee came out of her room with the bat and ended up in the living room with them. I asked Alex if Charles fell to the ground when he pushed him, and he said he thought he did. I asked Alex what Charles was saying during the argument, and he said he didn't remember. I'm telling you, I think you would remember. I asked Alex if Tylee came out with her bat as he was standing between Lori and Charles, and he said she did not. Alex said Charles backed up, and then Lori went around him in the hallway, and Charles followed her aggressively, and that is when Tylee came out with the bat. I'm just thinking, though, I mean, okay, this is a little bitty, that's not even really a hallway, let's just say. It's just like you know, a little nook where rooms dart off, the doors for rooms are. And it just seems like, what? It just doesn't make sense too much. Alex said at this point, they Alex said at this point they are all in the living room. Where's JJ? Okay, first off. Is he just sitting in the car forever? He's a runner. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, you just don't do that. I don't. No. I left my son in the truck, or yeah, no, actually, it was my husband at the time. He left my son in the truck when he was like 2 while he ran in the house, and he came out, and my son had, it was an older truck or whatever, and my son had put it in drive. It was a columns, anyways. It was, yeah, and my son hit the steps. The truck just kind of moved forward. He hit the steps and like knocked the little telephone thing off, and I was like, "Oh my god, you can't do that." Not with Zach for sure. No, you don't know what's gonna happen. So I don't know. I just find this really hard to believe. Okay. So Alex said Tylee was telling Charles to back off. I then gave Alex a piece of paper and had him draw a rough floor plan of the house so I could better understand where everyone was inside the house. I have that. I just don't have it right here. Alex drew a floor plan and labeled the rooms, which will be scanned into this report. Alex said again that Lori came into his room. So now, okay, shit, there's more and more every time. This is nuts. Oh my God. So Alex said again that Lori came into his room as she was arguing with Charles. That doesn't make sense. Alex said he pushed Charles back. And so he pushed him, allegedly. And the argument moved towards the living room. Alex said Tylee then came out with her bat, which is metal. And might I remind you, there was no DNA or trace evidence of Charles's on the bat. So work that into the scenario, because Charles's DNA, his prints, trace evidence of his, of him or anything to do with it was not found on the bat. So riddle me that. Okay. So, let's see. Alex said Tylee was tiny and wanted to defend her mom. Why did he say she was tiny? I mean, like, anyways, I think she could do some damn damage if she damn wanted to. Alex drew where Lori, Tylee, and Charles were in the living room and said Tylee went after Charles with the bat. Huh? Well, I thought Tylee came out the room with the bat. Okay. Hold on. Alex said Tylee then come out with the bat, which is metal, and came at Charles. So Tylee had the bat. Alex said Tylee was tiny and wanted to defend her mom. Alex drew where Lori, Tylee, and Charles were in the living room and said Tylee went after the Charles. Okay, and Tylee went after Charles with the bat and he took it away. Okay. Alex said he stepped towards Charles, and that is when Charles struck him with a bat, which resulted in the injury to his head. Alex said there was some shoving between him and Charles, and he got spun around and then hit. Alex said he went and got his gun, and Charles was still yelling at him. Don't be yelling at him. His feelings are so little. His feelings are tiny. Anyways. Alex pointed towards the floor plan he had drawn and indicated he was standing near the hallway and Charles was just inside the living room. I asked Alex what happened when he got back with the gun, and he said he told Charles to put the bat down. They're skipping around a lot. Alex said Charles asked him what he was gonna do and asked if he was going to threaten him. I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, they're already embroiled in it, like, you're not gonna be like, what are you gonna do? It's like, what are you doing? You know? You're in the middle of it. Anyways, Alex said he told Charles he was going to defend himself and asked him to put the bat down. Okay, just like the cop asked you why you didn't go in your room. Okay. Anyways, Alex said Charles had already hit him in the head with the bat. I asked Alex what Charles was doing with the bat as he came at him, and he said he was holding the bat in his right hand. This is important. As he came at him. First off, there were no prints. There was no evidence of Charles on the bat. Turns out. I asked Alex how many times he told Charles to put the bat down. He said once. One time. Put the bat down. What are you going to do? I'm going to defend myself. Allegedly. I confirmed with Alex that Charles then started advancing towards him, and he said he was. I asked Charles how many times he fired his gun. I'm sorry, he must have meant to put Alex there. I asked Alex how many times he fired his gun, and he said it was a couple times. I asked Alex where Lori and Tylee were at the time of the shooting, and he said he did not see them and he did not know. I asked Charles where JJ was at the time, and he said he was already out in the car. Anyways, Alex said Lori and Tylee were no longer in the room. I confirmed again with Alex that Charles was coming at him with a bat, asking what he was going to do about it. I asked Alex what he told Charles, and he said he did not tell him anything. Now he didn't tell him anything. But earlier he said, put your gun, put your bat down. I'm going to defend myself. But yet they asked what Charles was yelling at him, and he didn't know. Hims didn't know. And a lot of inconsistencies, big time. Alex said, if you're coming at someone with a gun, you have to be ready for the repercussions. I swear, if he wasn't dead already, where's Uncle Jerry? I told Alex that earlier he said Charles was coming at him with the bat, what he was going to do about it. Asking him what he was going to do about it. I confirmed Alex had already told Charles to put the bat down, and Charles came at him and he shot him. Alex said yes in confirmation. I confirmed with Alex that he thought he shot a couple times, and he said it was more than one shot. I asked Alex what type of gun it was, and he said it was a Springfield XDM 45. I asked Alex what type of ammo it was, and he said it was standard ammo. I confirmed it was full metal jacket ammo, and he said it was. I asked Alex what happened after he fired the gun, and he said he went to the kitchen and rinsed, this is important too, and rinsed his hands off because he had blood on his hands from his head. Okay. Alex said he then went back in the room he was staying at, put the gun down, and got his phone. Alex said he went into the kitchen and called 911. That's a lot of, so I'm just saying. I asked Alex what happened after he fired the gun. So he fired the gun, pow, pow, and he went into the kitchen, So where'd he set the gun down at? Okay. Rinsed his hands off. He had blood from his head. Alex said he went back in the room he was staying in, put the gun down, and got his phone. Alex said, so not like, let me go get the phone. Let me not try to do life-saving measures here, or anything like that. Alex said he went into the kitchen and called 911. I asked Alex if he saw Lori and Tylee again after he shot, and he said he did not see them until they drove up. Okay, so let me go grab this real quick. Let me check on you guys too. Hey, I know, they're assholes, huh? They sure are. I don't either, Leander. I don't know why they didn't hold him. I mean, it would have put a buckle in their plans at least. Can we just say that? We will never know. We will never know because it played out the way it did. And I don't know. There just needs to be justice for Charles. Bad. He's waited for a really long time. Really has. Okay, let me pull this up. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry, I pulled up the court TV one. I don't want that one. Give me a second. I pulled up the wrong dang one, y'all. My bad. Okay, come on now. There's something called Alex Cox's Straight to Hell official trailer. Okay. Here, I'll share. See? Alex Cox's Straight to Hell official trailer. Okay, never saw that before. Anywho, okay. I mean, used to, I could find this right away. Not today. Let me do this. Let me do Alex Cox 911. Or let me do Charles Vallow 911. Actually. Let's try that. Okay.
The emergency.
Denise Rainey.
I shot my brother-in-law.
Okay, what part of his body is injured?
In the chest.
I'm sorry, where?
In the chest.
Okay, is he awake and responsive or unconscious?
Unconscious.
Okay, is he breathing?
I can't tell.
Okay, are you willing to go over to him and check?
Sure.
Okay, do you just let me know if you see his chest going up and down? How old is he?
It's not moving. He's 60.
Okay, and are you wanting to start CPR?
No, I don't know how to do that.
I can walk you through it.
Okay.
And what I want you to do is you're going to put one hand in the center of his chest.
Yeah.
The other hand's going to go right on top of it.
Okay.
You're going to interlock your fingers, keeping your arms straight, and you're going to press down hard and fast into his chest. You're going to go 2 inches down and fairly quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Making sure his chest goes up between each compression. Where's the gun now?
It's in the other room.
Okay. PD, we're going to stage for you.
Okay, thank you.
And just keep going with those compressions. PD, did you have any other questions?
Yes, what's your name, sir?
My name is Alex. Last name is Cox, C-O-X.
And where are you in the house now?
In the living room.
And where is the gun?
It's in a bedroom.
Who else is there in the house with you?
Just me.
What gun is it? Was it
It's my gun. It's a 45.
a pistol? 45 caliber pistol?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's his name, your brother-in-law?
Charles Vallow.
His last name, I'm sorry?
V-A-L-L-O. Vallow.
V like Victor or G like George?
V like Victor.
Okay. Well, police and medics are on the way to help you.
Thank you.
Are you still doing chest compressions with him?
Yes.
Okay, just keep pushing down hard and fast in the center of his chest. How long ago did this occur? Did it just happen?
Yeah, maybe 5 minutes before I called.
Okay. Just make sure you're still pressing down at least 2 inches into his chest, and it comes up with each compression. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, were you guys arguing when this happened?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said there's nobody else there, just you and him, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Could you just let us know when it's secure?
Certainly, we'll do that.
Thank you.
And was he armed also, or just you, or what happened there?
Yeah, he came at me with a bat.
Anyone been drinking or doing drugs or anything today, or no?
I don't know, but I've never seen him that enraged before.
Does he live there with you, or where does he live?
No, he lives in Houston.
He's what, married to your sister? Is she? Where is she?
Correct. I don't know. I think she's taking her son to school.
Okay. Questions? You still doing that? Is he anything? Any response from him? You know?
He's not responding at all.
Some officers should be there. Let me know when they get inside to you. Is the front door open?
Yeah.
Think?
It's unlocked.
Okay. Can you come out, walk outside with your hands empty? Sure. Are you able to do that with your hands up and empty?
Yeah. Yeah.
Your front door, right?
Yeah.
Investigations, Detective Coons.
Hi, Detective Coons.
Sorry.
This is Debbie. I'm returning your call.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Debbie's is whoa, right? I'm so sorry, y'all. I was looking for something else and then yeah. So I wasn't listening. It does sound like he's ordering pizza. I always used to say that it sounded like he was ordering like a burgers off the menu. Do you want fries with that? Do you want mayonnaise and mustard? Yeah, sure. Yeah. And I mean, there was a sound that was playing while, I mean, after the initial quote unquote CPR was supposed to have been taking place, right? And then, but the second time when they were like, oh, so you're still doing CPR, and then you could kind of hear like a clock, clock, clock noise. And I'm like, okay, so he is moving, but is Alex Cox just walking around? Because it sounded like somebody with some, you know how guys wear like a keychain full of keys or something, but not keys. I'm just saying it sounded like somebody wearing something that's hanging off their pants or something, like just that. I don't know how to explain it, but that's kind of what it sounded like just now. But he is not. I mean, he answered truthfully, I think, whenever they asked if he wanted to start CPR, and he said, "No, I don't know how to do that." I mean, that right there is a big indicator to me that Alex Cox was not going to be resuscitating a zombie, right? Because that's who he was to him, allegedly. Not human, definitely not human, or his brother-in-law for the last 14 years, but definitely a zombie. That's way more believable. Okay. That's where we're at. All right. Oh, see, I'm telling you, if there is such a thing as demon possession, it is with this one right here. And her eyes are usually very, very, very blue. However, and you can just see the resentment in her mouth right here. Her chin is crinkly even at the bottom, it's got dimples in it. And she is not happy and she is vengeful. So that is the Lori that now wanting to represent herself and get revenge. It's very slow, right? She has nothing to lose. That is exactly how I feel. So bring it on, demon. Bring it on. Okay. Oh, like if mom is still in here, anyways, what you need to do is be like, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. Just do it. Just, get a little slap on the wrist. Okay. Anyways. All right. Let me stop this and let me go back to here. I think I have yeah, I do. Allegedly. Whoa, hello. My camera sucks. Okay. I don't even want it on me, actually. Do y'all mind if I just hide myself? Because I do better. I just do. And this is going to be Melanie. Whenever she finds out that Lori is cross-examining her and questioning her. Okay. Anyways, I need to do a better clip of that. I had to cut out Taylor Swift. Anyway. All right. Back to the document. All right, where was I? Okay, so I asked Alex what was going on with Charles and Lori and if Charles lived at the house. See, so this is another time and place, I do believe, in my opinion, that we see people in and around, around Lori Vallow Daybell who minimize things or they omit things, not like, hey, no, but he was paying for this place for my sister, $4,500 a month rent. You know what I'm saying? They act like when people say that Lori moved a lot, and I'm like, moved? She was just running. She was like slinging pillow to post. She was ducking and dodging being served divorce papers. I mean, all the way down to not even attending temple anymore. And God knows how committed she was to going to the damn temple and having that temple recommend. Anyways, I have my theories about that that I share all the time. Okay. So he says, Alex said Lori and Charles are separated and Charles lives and works in Houston. Alex said Lori and Charles have been separated since January or so, and Charles has had some erratic behavior since then. Alex said Charles showed up at his house in February or March and threatened him then. Alex said there was a confrontation mostly between Charles and Tylee, and he stood by to make sure Charles did not hurt her. I asked Alex if Charles came to town often, and he said he came occasionally to see JJ. JJ has been with him. I don't know. See what I'm saying? It's like a slippery. It's just I'm just not going to disclose all the things. However, I mean, JJ just went back with Lori. To my knowledge. Okay. Alex said Charles was not Tylee's father and explained that Lori and Charles adopted JJ, who was actually his niece's child. Do none of them actually know the birth parents of JJ? I'm asking. This is what I'm saying. It's like these little details. It's like that would be my child. Okay. Okay. And I mean, remember when Melanie Gibbs, or wait, was it Melanie Gibb? The niece's drug baby comment that was repeated quite a bit, even from Lori. So, I mean, does she know where her adopted child came from? She did whenever she was talking to Ron Ball, anyways, it's those little things. Okay. I asked Alex when he last saw Charles, and he said it was a time at his house in February or March. Okay. I asked Alex if Charles was at Lori's last night, and he said he was not. This kind of confirms, that Alex was there that night. I'm just saying. All right. I asked Alex if there was a history of domestic violence between Lori and Charles, and he said there was no history of physical violence that he knows of. I asked Alex I wish he would have asked if there was any physical violence of Alex in the past. I mean, because there's plenty. I asked Alex if there was nothing I had not asked. If there was nothing I had not asked about, I needed to know, and he said there was not anything he could think of. I asked Alex if Lori said anything about Charles coming into town, and Alex said Lori told him Charles was coming to pick up JJ. Okay. I confirmed with Alex that they were expecting Charles, and he said they were. I asked Alex what Lori and Charles were arguing about, and he said he did not know. Alex said Charles's anger was a surprise, but him showing up was not a surprise. Right. I walked through the details of the incident as I understood it. While doing so, Alex said he had been up and brushed his teeth, so he was up. Alex said he had been up and was brushing his teeth prior to the incident, but at the time Lori came in, that's twice he said that Lori came in, he was in the room he had stayed in the night prior on the phone. He was on the phone. Who was he on the phone with? Zalima? Or somebody he was sending money to in Colombia? I mean, who was he on the phone with? I hope like hell, since they have his phone, I hope we find that out. I continued to walk through the incident and got to the point that Tylee had poked Charles with the bat, and Charles took the bat away and asked Alex what happened right after that. Alex said Charles shoved him and spun him around and then hit him in the back of the head with the bat. That Charles's DNA and prints were not on, by the way. Reminder. I asked Alex if he fell to the ground when he was hit by the bat, and he said he did not. Okay. Alex added that his head just bounced as he motioned his head bouncing downward toward the floor. I then walked Alex to the point of him getting his gun from the room and going back out to the living room. I asked Alex what Charles was doing when he got back with the gun, and he told me he was looking at him while holding the bat. Okay, so he just stared down. Okay. I was picturing like Clint Eastwood, a duel, you know what I'm saying? Alex said he told Charles to put the bat down, and Charles asked him what he was going to do about it. Remember earlier he said that they didn't say nothing. He told him once or something. I asked Alex how he was holding the gun at the time, and he motioned as if he were holding the gun with two hands straight out in front of him. Alex said Charles then came at him. Alex confirmed he shot a couple of times and said he was pretty sure he fired 2 shots. I asked Alex where he was aiming on Charles's body, and he said the center and motioned towards his chest. I confirmed that Alex was pretty sure he shot Charles twice in center mass and that Charles fell. I confirmed with Alex that after he shot Charles, Alex, went to the kitchen to wash his hands. He went to the room to put the gun down, and then he got his phone and went to the kitchen to call 911. And Alex corroborated that and said that was correct. Okay. Sorry, taking a drag. Okay. Alex said 911 walked him through trying to do CPR. I asked Alex again if there was any other information I needed to know that he did not ask, and he said there was not. I advised Alex that I was going to have photographs taken of his head and then took a break with him. While out of the room, I went back and ensured Alex was okay. Alex asked to use the restroom, but was asked to wait until photographs were taken, and he agreed. Why didn't they dust his hands, man? Why didn't they, like, gunpowder residue just to make sure? Why didn't they just check Lori's? I mean, even the steering wheel on the car that, Uncle Charles had rented that she took to go bring JJ to school. She went to Burger King, Walgreens. Anyways, all right. And then it says, and he agreed. Okay, Alex was then photographed and his hands were buccal swabbed by crime scene technician Jordan. Alex was then taken to the restroom. I returned to the room and spoke to Alex again. I told Alex that Lori, okay, check this. I told Alex that Lori said she had recently moved back to Arizona. So that means he went and talked to Detective Yinklin, who was in the room talking to Lori, and then she talked to Tylee, right? Okay. Okay. Let's see. Where'd I leave? Okay. I asked Alex about Charles texting his brother Adam, and he said he did not. I was like, whoa. Okay. Because Lori had to have made this statement, is what I'm saying. Because he was like, he brought Lori into the conversation. And then he asked Alex about Charles texting his brother Adam, which they didn't have Charles's phone at this time because Lori still had it, remember? And so this was pretty telling to me. you know? I asked Alex about Charles texting his brother Adam, and he said he did not. That means Lori did look in his phone before. Well, I don't know when she brought it up, but anyways. I confirmed with Alex that when the initial argument between Lori and Charles started, that he said he was on the phone. And he said he was not. That's a lie. He was on the phone. He said up here earlier. Remembering that Alex said he was on the phone during our first conversation, I asked again, and he said he was not on the phone and he was just in the room. Alex said his phone was in the room. I confirmed with Alex that he was not sure where Lori and Tylee were when he came back with the gun, and he said he was not sure. I asked Alex where his gun was at in the room, and he said it was inside of a case by the bed. I asked if it was inside of a bag, and he said it was. I asked Alex if there was a reason he spent the night at Lori's, and he said, not really, other than they were just going to hang out. Okay. I asked Alex if his sister had ever expressed concern for her well-being because Charles was coming, and he said no. That's a lie. Alex said after watching Charles's interaction with Lori, Alex, was concerned for her well-being. I asked Alex if he normally carried a gun with him, and he said he did. I asked Alex to tell me more about the struggle after Charles took the bat from Tylee. So after. Alex said he grabbed Charles from behind and said he went to the ground. They went to the ground. Alex said he and Charles then separated and Charles hit him. It's like a whole new story every time, I swear. I asked Alex why he grabbed Charles from behind, and he said because Charles was in front of him. Duh, right? Oh my God. I hate those kind of answers. It's like, oh, I did that because, it just, oh, I grabbed him from behind because that's where he was. Anyways, I asked Alex why he grabbed, okay, he was in front of him. Alex also said Charles was going after Tylee with the bat. I asked Alex what Charles was doing with the bat, and he said Charles took the bat from Tylee, and that is when he jumped in. So he was not sure what Charles was going to do with the bat. I asked Alex how he grabbed Charles, and he said it was over the shoulder and then demonstrated what he meant. I asked Alex if he saw Charles swing the bat at him, and he said he did not. Alex said after he pulled Charles to the ground. So remember earlier he said he didn't go to the ground? Alex said after he pulled Charles to the ground, he got back up. Oh, he pulled Charles to the ground. I guess he didn't hit the ground. Charles got back up. Alex said, okay, because Uncle Charles did have abrasions on his knee. I'm just saying. Alex said when he got back up, Charles hit him in the back of the head, but added he did not know if it was the bat or not. But he assumed it was because he had the bat, even though DNA and, no trace evidence of Charles Vallow's was on that damn bat. I confirmed with Alex that after he was struck, he went back to the room and he said he did. Okay, where's the kitchen? Alex again confirmed he did not know where Lori and Tylee were when he went back to the room, and he said that was correct. I confirmed with Alex that when he came back from the room, when he got the gun, he came to the area near the end of the hallway into the living room. I confirmed that Charles had the bat. He said he did. I asked if Charles was focused on him at the time, and he said he was. I asked Alex what Charles was saying, and he said he didn't remember, but Charles was yelling. Alex said he was watching body language, okay? He's a body language expert. And, quote, when someone aggressively comes at you, unquote. I asked Alex if he had, there's a misspelling here. I asked Alex if he had his concealed weapons permit, and he said he did. I explained to Alex that I had been listening to him and not taking notes and was asking what Charles had said. Alex said he was trying to calm the situation down and told him to drop the bat. Alex said Charles said, "Fuck you." Okay. And then Charles came at him. Alex then motioned shooting Charles. I asked Alex if he ever told Charles to leave or just told him to drop the bat, and Alex said he just dropped the bat. So you shot him? I asked Alex if he ever told Charles to leave or just told him to drop the bat. Oh, okay. Okay, I see. That's kind of, let's see. Alex then motion shooting Charles. I asked Alex if he ever told Charles to leave or if he told Charles, I guess, to just drop the bat. And Alex said he just said drop the bat. Okay. I asked Alex if he said anything else after that, and he said he did not have time. Okay. I asked Alex if he said anything after that, and he said he did not have time. What? I walked through the details of the incident again as Alex had described. I asked Alex when he realized Lori had left and if he called her. That's another lie right here. I can feel it brewing. Alex said he did not call Lori. There it is. Okay. I asked Alex if he did CPR, and he said he tried. And that's another lie. I asked Alex again if he was on the phone when Lori first came into his room. And that's a lie. We're just within the statement. Okay. Lori and Charles argue. Okay. Whoa. I asked Alex if he heard Lori and Charles argue about Charles's phone. And he said he only heard Lori tell Charles not to touch her. I asked Alex to tell me more about the incident when Charles came in I asked Alex to tell me more about the incident when Charles came to his house when Tylee was there. Alex said Charles was going insane. Now we're on page, 63? Trying to locate Lori because they had split up and Lori was not talking to him. Alex said Charles was contacting everyone in their family. How does he know that? In their family to get in touch with Lori. Alex said he and Tylee were pulling up at Alex's house when Charles pulled up and blocked his driveway. That sounds like what Alex did because Alex's truck was backed into, basically you could say it was Charles's house. He rented it. He and Lori were still married. I'm just throwing that out there, Anyways, and I just saw these people project so much. It's crazy. You can pretty much call it. Okay. Alex said Charles got out of the vehicle aggressively, like he was going to do something, but they just talked. Alex said Tylee then got out of the truck and began yelling at Charles. Alex said the incident lasted about 15 minutes, and that was mainly Tylee yelling at Charles. I asked Alex if he spent a lot of time around Charles, and he said he had. It just made me think of Summer and Janice's whole spiel about how close they were and bullshit. I asked Alex if Charles was hot-headed. He said he was not normally. I asked Alex if he had ever seen Charles act the way he was today, and he said he had not. I asked Alex to describe how Charles was today, and he said he was very aggressive, physically aggressive. Aggressive. B-E. Okay. Alex said he had never seen Charles act like that, and he was shocked. Alex, this is from the same guy who has no emotion in his voice when he's calling 911 after shooting his brother-in-law dead. I'm just saying. He was shocked. I doubt it. Alex told me Charles and Lori had been together for about 15 years. Alex and I talked about the places Lori and Charles had lived and explained that Lori moved back to Arizona. I mean, she went to Houston briefly, just enough to, make sure that the life insurance policy, which she sucked at, obviously, because even she says to that text message to Chad that it was Ned that probably changed it back in March. Remember that? Now, I just thought about that. And I think she moved or whatever. She went to Houston to temporarily trying to, and she actually hoed around with Chad actually while she was there. That's when he flew in and they went to Houston temple, which I remember borrowing this book from Mom. It's about the temples. Because I was like, I don't know, I just want to learn about Mormonism. But it's a book that looks like it was bought and it's about temples. And I'm just wondering if maybe that book was purchased by Lori on her and Chad's, one of their escapades, Anyways, okay. Alrighty, righty. I gotta find where I left off. Okay. I asked Alex if Lori had asked him to come over because she did not feel safe with Charles, and he said she did not. Another lie. Alex said Lori, oh my gosh. Alex said Lori had told him about some threatening text messages from Charles where he said he would drop her or destroy her or something to that effect. I confirmed with Alex that he was not under the impression that he was there in case Charles caused an issue, and he said no. Another lie. I asked Alex if he brought the gun because Charles was coming over, and he said he always carries a gun. Alex said he had another gun in the truck, and he said he brought a 380 for his sister to shoot because they were thinking about going to the shooting range. Okay, leave him in the truck. Alex told me he never considered Charles to be a threat before today. So again, it's like past behavior is indicative of like what you can kind of expect out of a person, So it's like, again, he's going to believe that Charles is a zombie and that he had much more strength and everything. And he was more aggressive and everything because his sister told him. His brother-in-law, his future brother-in-law, Chad. I mean, like, what? So, anyways, can you say stupid? I'm just saying. I ain't trying to demean the guy, but I mean, geez, he makes it kind of easy. I confirmed with Alex that he never saw Charles swing the bat. What? Oh, I confirmed with Alex that he never saw Charles swing the bat at him, and he said that was correct. I asked Alex what happened right after he got up, and he told me after they went to the ground and separated, he was getting up, and then he motioned, that is when he got hit in the back of the head and his head bounced. Now his head bounced on the floor, I guess. I don't know. I confirmed with Alex that as he was getting up from the ground, who was on the ground? I'm so confused. That is when he felt the strike to his head, and he said yes. I asked Alex what he did after that, and he said he went straight to the room. No longer going to the kitchen now. Oh, no, this was to retrieve the gun, I guess. Yeah, my bad. My bad, Alex, this one time. I asked Alex what he did after that, and he said he went straight to the room. Alex said he was hoping this would calm down. Okay. Please tell me how bringing a gun into the situation is going to de-escalate and such a what am I trying to say? Oh my God. I'm gonna leave that word alone because I can't even find it. Yeah, that's not going to de-escalate shit. Okay. Okay. I asked Alex what he thought would happen when he confronted Charles with the gun, and he said he thought Charles would back down at that point, but he did not. Again, he's already shown his ability. Alex has already shown his ability and his conscious that he went all the way to that room where he could have stayed. Okay. He could have picked up his phone. He could have bolted out the window. He could have, ran a zigzag line or something around Charles and escaped the danger. You know what I'm saying? Lori was obviously not even there. And it just sounds so bad. It just sounds so, it's like he's making it up as he goes or something similar, something along those lines. Okay. All right. So then it says, I asked Alex if there was anything else he could think of that I needed to know, and he said he was not sure. I asked Alex if he needed to have his head treated, and he said he would like to go get his head cleaned up. Not to mention, he had his damn sunglasses on too, And so he had plenty of time to put his sunglasses on his head with his nasty flip-flops. I asked Alex how the injury to his arm happened, and he said it must have happened during the struggle. I asked Alex if there was any physical fighting, and he said only pushing during the struggle. Not hit with the bat. right there. There's another one. I asked Alex about his criminal history. I can't wait to hear that from Alex, or his telling of it. And he said he had a previous aggravated assault in Texas in 2007. And he said he had his rights restored. I then completed my interview with Alex. After completing my interview with Alex, Detective Yinklan and I drove Alex, Lori, and Tylee back to the residence on Four Peaks so they could get a vehicle and go somewhere while the scene was processed. During the ride back to the residence, there was no further discussion about this incident. In the van ride, there was informal conversation by mainly Lori. Can't y'all just hear her rattling off like she did with the Detective Runball? She rambles and rambles and rambles. Okay. The conversation between Lori and us was very lighthearted and seemed odd in light of the events of the day. Alex, Lori, and Tylee left the residence, and I remained on scene at the residence while the scene was completed. Wow. Okay, just hang tight. While still on the scene at the residence on Four Peaks, we had Alex Cox return to the residence to do a walkthrough of the event. And now this really sucks right here. The walkthrough was recorded on evidence.com app, but for an unknown reason, the video footage was only captured for 8 seconds. So I'm sure we'll expect to see this at the trial, all 8 seconds of it. Present during the interview with Alex was myself, Detective Coons, Detective Werther, and Detective Duncan, which all 3 of these testified in trials. I think Detective Coons. I'm not sure now. For sure, Detective Werther and Duncan and what's this one's name? I'm about to sneeze. I'm sorry. Oh, okay, hold on. Let me mute. Got it. Sorry about that. Wait, what if Alex was on the phone with Chad Daybell? What if there was evidence of this being a murder setup? We can only hope. Oh, girl, right? We can only hope. The hell? I mean, I never even thought about that. I never thought about Chad being the one. But, ooh, that's a really good point. You know why? Because you're smart. No, because whenever you find out about Brandon Boudreaux's the attempt on Brandon Boudreaux, yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good one too. Unfortunately. But Brandon Boudreaux, whenever they were doing, when Alex was driving down from Idaho to Arizona, okay, he stayed on the phone a lot with Chad Daybell. They talk like some old hens, straight up. So that's really interesting. And remember whenever, oh, this makes me want to go hunt him down myself and drag him from that damn death penalty, the damn death chamber over there in Idaho, and drag his ass by his teeth to Arizona, just for saying that that's what he said before, whatever, something about 2 bullets in his chest. Okay, I mean, that's just, they're so freaking vile. They're vile. It's just hard to find out about this family DNA test kit during this trial I've been following since January 2020. If I am Lori's cousin, then I am also Tylee's and JJ's, and just heartbreaking not to meet them. Oh, well then you're mine by extension. Yeah, it would be great. It would be great. I don't know. How many of y'all feel like there are going to be co-conspirators named or whatever? I mean, wouldn't they have arrested them by now? I don't know. I'm just trying not to. I'm just not going to put my hope. My hopes are not going to be up. I'm trying to be realistic and go really beneath the bar, because if I put the bar low, then they can't really disappoint me. So I'm just like, it's been almost 6 years, or it's been how long? Oh my god, it's been 5 years, almost 5 and I don't know. Oh yeah, I just finished When the Moon Turned to Blood, and I forgot just how dumb all of their beliefs and doings were. I wish someone had listened to Charles. I know. Just imagine. Again, we'll never know, but I can only imagine that it would have put a damper in their plans, at least. A buck something. You know how things just happen, and anyways, it's like everything that could go wrong did go wrong in this case, and it's not just by, the stars aligning or anything like that. It's just they totally were, a miscarriage of justice, basically. I've thought this too. Sometimes. I always thought that Lori might have actually shot him. I believe she was still in the house. A lot more people should have been arrested, yeah. But again, Lori is like, "Oh, victim's advocate, party of one," because there's only one victim, she thinks, in her mind. I'll say it. And Lori told Colby that Tylee was JJ's killer, just unconscionable. I know. I know. It's, the nerve. The freaking nerve. And it's not even physically like it make it make sense. And you can't. Uncle Charles said that Lori was nonsensical on the body cam footage, and he was right. He's got her pegged. So, anyways, okay, so let me get back over there. It's rather lengthy, so I appreciate y'all hanging out. Actually, I thought about this right here too. Okay, hold on. I'll read a little more and then I might play some body cam. Okay. Why not? I think we should go through it all. Might as well. Okay. During the walkthrough, Alex gave a statement consistent with what he had told me during his interview and put himself in the area of the hallway facing northeast at the time he shot Charles. Alex said he shot Charles twice as he was standing. That's a lie. Alex said again, after he shot Charles, he went to the sink and washed his hands. So he's back in the kitchen. He went to the room. He went to the room he had stayed in the night before to put the gun down and then called 911. Alex was released from the scene. When we finished processing the scene, we secured the house as Lori and Alex were not back at the residence. Okay. All right. So I remember writing it down. I just don't know where I put it, but it was about, I want to say 3:40 in the afternoon when they finished processing the house. It might have been 1:40. So don't quote me on that. Not till I find it. Let me see. I'm just kind of looking through my notes. Okay. No, I don't see anything like. Okay, wait. And I also wrote down some questions too. Like, since Charles's DNA and his prints are nowhere to be found on the bat. Oh, I just kind of wrote that. It's not a question. I just wrote it. Let's see what else. These are just some thoughts I jotted down, right, when I was going over this report with Jason the other night. And so we had just found out that Lori was going to rep herself too. And so I wrote like torture, intimidate witnesses. That's like the number one thing I put down for Lori, wanting to represent herself. 2, dictate, control the narrative. 3, spotlight, seeking attention. 4, demanding respect, validation. 5, downplay evidence. She is the only living witness. So it's like her word versus theirs, right? Number 6, first degree versus conspiracy, because it has in the docket, which I shared the other day. Let me see if I still have it open. And I have to look. I'm looking. Oh man, hold on, because I want to know. It's a little aggravating. I just want to know what it is. I don't care what it is. I just want to know what it is. I don't have it in her recently shut down. Hold on. Oh, that's for my other desktop. Okay. I'm like, what? All right. Um, okay, hold on. It just I okay, never mind. I did it. Okay. Hold on. Oh well. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay. Lori Vallow. I broke the internet. What the heck? Come on. I typed her name in and it broke it, I'm telling you. Let's see. What the hell? Why won't it let me drop down? That's crazy. Weird. All right, whatever. I don't want to take too long. Oh. It sent me over here. Okay, whatever. We'll play this game. I'll be an expert at this by the time it's over, don't you know? Okay, it's this one. So, let me make sure it's on the right page, yeah. Whoop, 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 whoop. I always push the wrong damn buttons, don't you know? Okay, so this says State of Arizona plaintiff and Lori in Vallow, defendant, female per pro. Okay. It says description, disposition code is murder first degree. That's why I'm confused. Okay, because where's the conspiracy part? You know what I'm saying? First degree means they would have to have something, I mean, just showing that she killed him. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like this, I guess, makes a big difference if you think about it. But it gives validity to those of you who think that Lori pulled the trigger. I mean, it's interesting though, right? Right? Am I right? I mean, that would have to be not a conspiracy. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just here to just kind of poke holes in things and find things. And so, what do y'all think? Oh, good to see you too, Hawk Twa. Hawk Twa. Or whatever, however it goes. Hello, Julie Fleming Zahus. Oh man, I'm so late. Girl, you are so late. Bring your tardy slip. Okay, so Hawk Twa says crushing not necessarily first degree means planned, premeditated. Oh, okay. So see, thank you. Appreciate that. I'm definitely not a legal expert. Oh my God. I'm not. But I like to learn. I like to learn about this stuff. Like I said, by the time this is over, all this is over, I'll have either forgotten everything or I can maybe help other people. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, well, and Beach Bum says, absolutely. But even in conspiracy, you may have done it yourself anyway. But I mean, like, I'm thinking, like, okay, but they say with a conspiracy case, there's no death penalty. However, if it's first degree, there should be death penalty. And that's all I'm saying. I'm just putting that out there. Maybe I can, maybe I'll conjure it up or wait, what's that? Manifest it. I'm just picking. And there should be. Now, the reason they're delayed an hour is because Justin Lum, he went to a court hearing about this, and Lori's attorneys that she fired recently, they were bitching and moaning about this being live stream and how it's so unfair, unfair, unfair for Lori, his client. And, because don't say that or don't do that. You're making my client look bad, you know. And I mean, good Lord. All right. Bye-bye. Justice for Charles. Love you. Love y'all. Love you all. My ears are red. Okay. You think so? Lori was present, wanted to make sure I got it right. She was and was not. We'll have to go over her statement maybe the next time. And Tylee's too. I want to go over all of them. Hey, Maria P. Girl, get your tardy slip right here. So, but I don't know, Jean. I don't know. I really don't know. But I think it's interesting how that Detective Moffat came back in and basically I knew, I mean, it sounds like he talked to Detective Yinklin, who was talking to Lori at that same time he was talking to Alex, but he took a break. Sounds like he went and talked to Detective Yinklin and then went to Alex with the information about talking to Adam. You know, like, did you know that basically that Charles talked to Adam this morning? And he was like, no, I did not know that. So it just seems like Lori would have had to have seen that morning, either before or right after Charles was murdered. How would they know that, though, if they didn't have the phone besides Lori? So it wouldn't be from the phone because they did not ask for the phone, Charles's phone. Oh, I'm just trying to work this out in my head. So that would mean that Lori would have had to have said it. And I don't remember. It's been a long time. I can hardly stand her damn voice. I know. Oh, and I'm gonna have to get used to it. Man, she makes John Pryor seem like a very good dream at this point. Ooh, we shouldn't have bitched. We shouldn't have bitched. Because it's like, oh well, here you go. Oh my God, y'all. Right. So I don't know. I just want to know. I don't, and maybe mom can clarify or get this clarified, the murder first degree, or get, clarification on what is charged against Lori, because it's very confusing. There's reports that say different things, and I don't know if if it was conspiracy to commit murder whenever they were charging Chad too, but then the DA declined to press charges against him because it was less likely to be convicted. And that's what they want. They want conviction. So I think he's guilty, guilty, guilty. But he can keep him and his fat ass over there in Idaho. I'm okay with that too. But according to Lawyer Lee, she was saying that she very well could, call Chad. What could he add? But she said it more in the trial. She said more of the part of, like the video of Alex, Lori, and or Chad, different times, bringing in the tire and the back seat of the Jeep into the storage unit and vice versa. So I was thinking, well, that has more to do with Brandon. That has really nothing to do with, I mean, it's so confusing though, because it's like it all goes together. And I wish they would have all had one damn trial. It's so weird and lopsided, it seems. All right. So while still on the scene, okay, I already said all this probably. Yeah, I think. Alex said Charles. Okay, did I? Okay, hold on. Detective. Okay, Alex said after he shot Charles, he went to the sink and washed his hands. He went to the room he had stayed in the night before to put the gun down and then called 911. Alex was released from the scene. When we finished processing the scene, we secured the house as Lori and Alex were not back yet, or not back at the residence. On 7/12/19, I continued to work this case. I spoke with Detective Werther and asked him to call Lori. Y'all remember Detective Werther? And get the personal information for JJ Vallow. Y'all, I wish to God they would have interviewed the kid, okay? JJ had, I mean, I just don't think that he would have lied, okay? Straight up. I think you'd have got the honest, his version of how it went, whether he was in the car, whether he was not in the car, whether he saw anything, whether he didn't, who was yelling, I'm just saying. And JJ repeated himself. Okay. So, I mean, it probably was best for Lori that JJ not be interviewed. Yeah, know what I'm saying? But still, I wish that they would have pressed for JJ to at least talk to somebody, maybe to see if he needed help, because and I mean, I'm glad mom and them left, but I'm glad no, I'm not glad. I'm glad mom left, but it just it's horrifying to think about the things that were reported after Charles's death, like JJ being told that his dad unalived himself, that his dad had a heart attack, and he was reported by one of his teachers to have said at school that, "No, my dad's not dead. He's not in heaven." And it's just like, oh my God. I can only imagine what that raging narcissist told that baby and those babies. Just you know how she stripped them down, like a narcissist does, like a psychopath does. Strip everything of comfort, of familiarity, of normalcy and routine, just rip it away from them. Just that's such torture all in and of itself, plus she's all weird and her friends are weird and they're all coming around them. It's just nasty. It pisses me off all over again, really. Okay. Anyways, during his interview with Lori, Detective Werther obtained JJ's personal information and learned that Lori had stopped at Burger King on the way taking JJ to school. Detective Werther also learned from Lori and Charles. I'm sorry. Detective Werther also learned from Lori that Charles had stayed at the True by Hilton in Gilbert, Arizona. Detective Werther went to the Burger King at Redacted, where he observed the video. Detective Werther observed Lori in the drive-thru at 07:54 hours in the red Kia SUV. That was Charles's rental vehicle. Detective Werther contacted me via telephone and reported his findings. I noted the time that Lori was in the drive-thru was approximately 42 minutes prior to the 911 call from Alex Cox the day prior. Detective Werther confirmed the timestamp on the video to be accurate. Detective Werther responded to Lori's residence and obtained the hotel key from Lori. Can you imagine? Oh my God, she was about to wreck shop. So real quick, let me go and let me grab the Burger King video. All right. Okay. Let me share this tab. Where's it at? That's weird. Where the hell's the damn video? Huh. That's weird, y'all. I've never had that happen. Okay, there we go. Okay. Well, how's it violent if it's damn Burger King? That's weird. Anyways. There's no sound. Here we go. It's crazy. So 7:54:09 a.m. There she is. There's JJ. You can't see Tylee because she's in the back seat. All right. Thank y'all for joining me for this. It's difficult, but it's got to be done. I've been avoiding it as long as I can. Oh, crush a cuz bear status, right? I wonder what Rob would. Oh, he might not have finished that. Honestly, I don't expect her to get past jury selection. Come to think of it, the attorneys made it look easy. They did, huh? Can you imagine? I just don't see her not doing a narrative. Okay. I can't. You saw how she was with Colby. She didn't even say, okay, I respect the way your opinion. She was just like, no, you have to basically, conform your thinking to mine. That's how it looked to me. that block is a little too blurry and big. What's junk science? I missed it. I think so too, Maria, that the cop should have swabbed Lori's hands after Charles was shot. I think she was the one who shot Charles. How many of you, if you think that Lori took the shot or took shots at Charles or a shot, push 1. If you think that Alex did the whole mamma jamma, if he took the shot at Charles, if he, he's the one that pulled the trigger, he's a trigger man, put 2. If you think they both took a shot, put 3. Interesting. Oh, let me take this. Sorry. I tried. They flip those things way too fast, right? Especially when it's Melanie Gibb. I panicked. Okay. Oh my goodness. Let me share this instead. And let me get back over there so I can see what y'all are saying. Okay, we have 1. And then Spooky Micah said, I think she, I'm sorry. Said hold on. Maria P says her opening statement, Jesus is here and telling me what to say. So I'm innocent and holier than you, right? Jesus loves you, but he loves me more. Straight up. I need to get some shirts made. I just don't want to piss Kelsey off or hurt her feelings because that's what she told Kelsey. And it's like, oh my God, that's gross. Jesus loves you, but he loves me more. Gunshot residue, a GSR test. Okay. Oh, let me finish this one. I wonder what Rob Wood and Lindsay Blake think about Lori representing herself. Oh, that would be good. Man, I would love to hear their opinion, right? Yeah, it would be interesting. All of their opinions, that would be interesting. All right, so Beach Bum 1, Lori G 1. So you think that Lori, man, dang. 3, you think both. So it's like all 1 person, 2 people think it's Alex all the way. And it's pretty much split between Lori doing it all and Lori and Alex doing it. So, wow. That's interesting. That is really interesting. Thank you. Divergent. I love your name. What was 2? Alex doing it all. Okay. So maybe when she ran back in to get her purse, she did the shot that was straight to the ground. I thought that she made Tylee go in for her purse. Remember that? Which is crazy. Oh my God. She is okay with you put 1 until you heard the both. I know I should have said it a little faster. Maybe I'll do a real poll, on the community wall, and we can really get a good percentage of what that would look like. Because it's an interesting question, it really is. Thank y'all. Tylee, my phone changed it. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know it always does autocorrect to Tyler for some reason. I hate that too. Okay. Alrighty. So it was 42 minutes prior to the 911 call from Alex Cox the prior day. Detective Werther confirmed the timestamp on the video to be accurate. Detective Werther responded to Lori's residence and obtained the hotel room key from Lori. Why didn't they grab his phone? Charles's phone. I then met Detective Werther at the True Hotel located at Redacted. Upon speaking with the clerk at the hotel, I learned that Charles's room number was room number 127. That's the bottom floor, I would think. Okay. Detective Werther and I responded to room number 127 and collected Charles's belongings as evidence. There were several items taken from the room, including a backpack with miscellaneous contents, a suitcase with clothing, a laptop computer, an iPad, and an e-reader. There was also $2,000 in U.S. currency in the suitcase, in the suitcase that was impounded as its own item number. After collecting Charles's belongings, we contacted hotel staff and learned that no one had accessed the room since Charles left the day prior. I'm sorry, I'm like stopped up. It's weird. I'm sorry. Okay, on 7/13/19, Detective Coons and I responded to, I'm sorry, it doesn't say to. It should. On 7/13/19, Detective Coons and I responded to the Maricopa County Office of the Medical Examiner to attend the autopsy on Charles Vallow. The autopsy was conducted by Dr. Baumgartner. We learned during the autopsy that the wound to Charles's lower abdomen had an upward trajectory and was a shored wound. The wound was consistent with Charles being down on the ground at the time he was shot. Okay? And so there's also evidence, which we'll go over that one day too, of the actual floor underneath Charles, where it shows like a strike, from a bullet or the baseboard or something. Okay, after the autopsy was completed, let me just repeat that. The wound was consistent with Charles being down on the ground at the time he was shot, not being a threat, not coming. That's not a threat to Alex Cox. That's not just stopping a person. I don't know the correct terminology, but that's not just trying to, get someone's attention, basically, a warning shot or something. It was just shoot to kill, in my opinion. After the autopsy was completed, I responded to the Chandler Police Department main station where I wrote preservation orders for the known phone numbers of Alexander Cox, Lori Vallow, Charles Vallow, and Tylee Ryan. The preservation orders were then sent to the respective cellular providers to be followed up with a search warrant at a later date. Let me blow my nose. I know, Roxy. Who would do that to their kid? Probably. Now we have more on that. I'm thinking now we have Lori would do that because Lori is blaming her own victim, who is her baby girl, her daughter, for killing JJ. She's okay with that. I don't care if my daughter, if I thought that and I walked in on that scene or whatever the hell Crazy Head says, I would tell the cops exactly what went down. I would not be running and being in Hawaii, getting married, right after. No, there's no. Okay, no, Lori, we're not stupid. Come up with something better. You had all these years to do that. Okay, hell, we could come up with something better right here, right now, and without blaming our victims. Maybe let's blame our dead brother, who is a freaking asshole. Ugh, that's nasty. They're nasty, man. Okay. I'm sorry. All right, let's go. On 7/13/19, I received a call from Kay Woodcock, Charles Vallow's sister, and Kay left a message for me to call her. I called back and spoke with her. Kay said she did not know what was going on and only learned of Charles's death after her husband Larry did a Google search of Charles's name and saw the articles. This is how we found out. Okay. It's crazy. On 7/12 is when we found out. Kay said Lori never called and told her anything of the incident. Kay said Lori sent Charles' son a text message just saying their dad had passed away and that they love him. They love them. Lori also said she was at the funeral home. Lori also said she was at the funeral home making arrangements. What arrangements? Okay, because there were none. There were none. None at all. Except for have him cremated, which, her and Chad Daybell took care of. Okay. Kay said she did not understand this and added there was a lot of stuff going on with this, including things with quote unquote Alexander, Lori's brother. As we were speaking, my recorder died or the phone got disconnected. I called Kay back and spoke with Larry, Kay's husband. Larry said he felt this was a setup. We all have since day one. And they would like to sit down and discuss what was going on. Lori said there was Larry, not Lori. Larry said there was a lot of stuff going on with this, and he wanted to sit down as soon as we could. I explained to Larry that I was aware of the news article and let him know we were still investigating this incident. As I was speaking with Larry, I explained we were not just taking the word of 3 people we were talking to. After saying 3 people, Kay asked who the third person was, and I explained it was Lori, Alex, and Tylee. Kay said Charles told her a few months ago that he was afraid of Al and that he did not put anything past him and he had a history. There's no reason for my mom to just make this shit up. You know what I'm saying? So when you take that statement right there, that I can almost guarantee. I mean, I wasn't there, so I can't like for corroborate it for sure. I'm sure Larry could, but I'm just saying that you take that statement right there that Charles was afraid of Al. Then you take what has been said by Summer and Janice Cox, and where basically I forget exactly what again, I still haven't remembered it, but it was that Charles and Alex were such good friends, and I want to say it did. I want to say that I heard Janice say, and I could be wrong. So please, please know that. But something about Alex being in Charles's wheel or something. I, I don't know. So y'all don't come at me. I've said it like guys. I don't know. I'll find out though. Okay. Um, I explained I explained I was aware of the previous report involving Alex. Larry said they were in town and Lori did not have any idea they were in town. I asked Kay and Larry if we could meet the next day and they said that was fine. I then completed my conversation with Larry and Kay. On 7/14/19, I met with Larry. I'm sorry. Hold on. Got to pull something up. I remembered. Oh, please. Okay, let's see. I'm looking. Okay. Come on. What? Okay, that's it. Okay, hold on. I was reading something. I was like, what is that? Here, I'll let you see. Nope. I'm looking for just the police interview. I have them all, but I don't know where they're at. I think I've done like almost 800 videos. So it's like, they're not real easy to find in my own playlist. What the hell? Why is it showing me all these? That's my video. Anyways, all right. I'm looking. I'm just looking for. I put Kay Woodcock interview with Chandler Police Department. What else could I put that under? Let me look under box 10. Let me just go here. And let me do this. Dabo or Vallow. Vallow. All right, go. Okay. I was hoping this wouldn't take as long. Looking. I mean, this is ridiculous. It really is. I'm sorry. My computer's making noises again. Oh, come on now. This is seriously crazy. Crazy as Lori. Oop. Oh my God, I can't. I'm having to look over my microphone because I still have to look at my keyboard sometimes. This is ridiculous. I remember when things used to be so easy to find, and now you see what this is like. Okay. Mm, this is crazy. Come on now. This is a good interview.
News here in Phoenix, Arizona, covering the Lori Vallow and Chad
I'll let
Daybell.
y'all watch this while I go look for it. How about that?
Everyone, this is Justin Lum, investigative reporter
you don't
with
mind.
Fox 10 News here in Phoenix, Arizona, covering the Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell case. We are specifically focused on Lori Vallow's sentencing, July 31st, 2023. Lori Vallow, the so-called
Right.
doomsday mom, will be sentenced for murdering her 2 children and conspiring in the murder of her husband's first wife, Tammy Daybell. This is a complex case. Lori Vallow was recently convicted in Boise, Idaho, after her triple murder trial. And here with me is Rich Robertson, the private investigator on this case early on, who was very instrumental in assisting Kay Woodcock, who was a grandmother of one of the victims, J.J. Vallow, and also assisting Brandon Boudreaux,
Okay.
another victim in another case regarding another Arizona law enforcement agency. I mean, I spit out these names and
Okay.
these different
I'm sorry. I hate to do that, but I'm gonna play this one just as soon as I find it again in these tabs. Right here. So this is she's lost her mind. Gilbert police body cam footage with Charles Vallow. It says Gilbert police have released body cam video of Charles Vallow talking with police 5 months before his death. He claimed his then wife, Lori Vallow, locked him out of the house and he was asking for the police's help. Okay, so let me put oh crap, where'd it go? Uh-oh. Oh, come on. I'm gonna skip.
Why don't you come over here? So what's going on tonight?
I can't get in touch with my kids.
How old are your kids?
6.5 and 16. Okay.
How long have you been trying?
2 days.
Okay.
But she's lost her mind. I don't know how to say it. We're LDS. She thinks she's a resurrected being and a God and member of the 144,000. Jesus is coming next year. She took all the money out of her bank account today. My truck is gone from the airport. She went to the airport and got it. I just flew in from Dallas. Houston and Dallas. So
Where's your truck?
I don't know.
Okay.
A friend of mine's truck picked me up. I went to the CSI to file a report, which is the community bridges or something. File a report.
So you did the petition?
Yeah, they ordered pickup.
Okay. What time did you do that?
Hour and a half ago.
Okay. So what makes her a danger to herself and to others?
She threatened me, murder me, kill me.
She threatened to murder you?
Yes. And she said,
how did she do that?
My bishop right there is in the car. He was on the phone with me today when she said, "I will have you destroyed," was what she said there.
Okay, that's not a threat to kill you.
Yesterday was a threat to kill me.
Okay. What did she say yesterday?
She said, "You're not Charles. I don't know who you are, what you did with Charles, but I can murder you now with my powers."
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna kill you too. Yesterday was
So she's speaking as a spiritual being.
Oh God, I forgot about that.
Reality.
Is this just all recent, or has it been going on?
It's been going on for about 4 or 5 years. It's gotten really, really bad lately. She goes to the temple every day and speaks with Moroni and Jesus Christ, and they tell her what to do. And now she came to her today, and last couple of days she says, "I'm not Charles. You're not Charles. You're Nick Schneider." I don't know where she gets his names from. She got all this stuff from these people in Utah who tell her how many past lives she's had and probation she's had. And she's was married to Moroni way back when, and she was also married to James the Just. And
Okay, this is all foreign to me. So
it's foreign to me.
Well, I'm not LDS.
It's crazy stuff.
I know you're using LDS terms here.
But it's just
Okay.
she's nonsensical.
Okay.
And I haven't seen.
There you go, nonsensical. Ooh.
Is he the older one or the younger one?
Young. He's 6.5 years old.
Okay.
Okay. I want to do this now. You've got a pickup order. Am I correct?
We do.
Okay. If she doesn't answer, what do we do?
Bust the door down.
If she doesn't answer, we can't enforce the order.
Can I break into my house?
Do you live here?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
My lease. I pay the lease.
Do you guys have any orders of protections against you?
No, we do not.
So, no police reports?
No, nothing.
Okay. So how does she pose a threat to your children?
I don't think that too is like you also like I killed somebody else. That's just me. I think it's more along the lines of she said this too. She said that too. You know, that's just my opinion though. It's not really worth anything.
She's going to do with them. I don't know if she's going to flee with them. She's going to hurt them.
You don't even know if she's here, right?
Today on the phone. I can't.
Interesting.
All the cars are. The garage is closed. I don't know. She locked the garage door.
I know.
Been up there yet.
I know. But what I'm hold on. Sorry. What I'm saying is, do you normally park 2 vehicles in the garage, inside the garage?
Correct.
Okay. So it's a possibility that her car and your truck are inside there?
I don't think she could fit my truck and her car at the same time. She may put them somewhere else. She said,
Right.
"All your stuff is gone. Charles' stuff is gone. You're not Charles. Your stuff is gone." I don't know what that means.
And how long have you been trying to get in touch with the kids?
Since yesterday.
Since yesterday? Like last night or yesterday morning? Or?
About landed in Houston Tuesday about 10.
Okay. Why did you leave?
There's a trip in Houston.
Okay. And when did you leave?
Tuesday morning about 5 a.m.
Okay. Tuesday. All right. Wow. It's
Wednesday night.
So you left yesterday?
Yeah.
You left yesterday morning. Flew to Houston. Flew back today? Tonight.
Obviously, he planned it that way too.
She came to the airport, took my truck.
Did she tell you that?
No. She knows the code. She knows where it's parked. She wouldn't.
Did she go with you to the airport?
No, but I go to the airport. I fly 45 round trips a year. She knows where I park. I've got handicap plates because JJ's handicapped.
Did you file a stolen vehicle report with Phoenix?
I know she took it.
How do you know? You suspect?
I suspect. Okay. I suspect.
All right.
I know your term. So,
okay.
Yeah. But
without concrete evidence, we can't say. For sure.
I hate this part.
And she has the keys, the code. It's a Ford. The code, door code.
Door code.
And I just want to see my boys okay. And she's got a pickup order. I need to go. She needs to go, and I'm going to take my son.
So you normally live here?
Yeah, oh, yeah, I live here. Okay. Yeah. All my stuff's in my house.
Okay.
We got a service dog in there, beautiful dog. My daughter's in the front window right there.
My daughter.
So let me ask you this. When you came back, why didn't you just go to the home?
Because she told me not to come near it. All my stuff is gone. Okay. I'm not stupid. She could have done anything.
Okay.
I thought this would be the best way to do it. With what she's gone through and
it was.
Jade witnessed with me on the phone today, I thought it was best to have her. She's psychologically, she's gone. Something's happened to her.
How old is she?
45.
45.
Beautiful
So if we talk to her, is she going to be able to have a rational conversation with us?
Oh, she will. I'm sure she will.
Okay.
She's
it suits her.
She'll probably tell me I'm crazy, huh? Is that what you suspect?
You're a dark spirit. That's what she's going to tell you.
Okay.
I'm a dark spirit.
No zombie.
He's our bishop. He's going to be a dark spirit. Whatever that means.
Bishop Gabe.
And you said this has been going on for like 4 years?
Well, it's to an extent, but it's gotten really bad the last several months. And I've been trying to ignore it because hoping it'll get better.
Is she on any medications?
Absolutely.
No.
She won't do medication. She's
Okay. Has she been to a doctor?
She won't go to the doctor because she's a translated being, and they would find
Right.
out she's translated. She cannot be killed. She cannot die.
And that's what she thinks.
Yes.
Okay.
She
And
said
she's
that.
been telling
Yeah.
you that.
Yes. And
That's
Gabe
on my
did.
list.
Okay.
He heard this, not just me. This isn't coming. I love her to death. This
Oh.
is killing the officer.
Let me go back
Oh, okay.
because he said Gabe.
This isn't coming. I love her to death.
Oh,
She cannot die.
And that's what she thinks.
Yes.
Okay.
She said
And she's
that.
been telling you that.
Yes. And Gabe too.
Okay.
He heard this, not just me. This isn't coming. I love her to death. This is killing the officer.
Oh, I can understand.
Our 13th anniversary is next month. We've been at a great marriage. All of a sudden, the last month it just blew up.
Mm-hmm.
She just lost connection.
Okay. So has she made any statements about wanting to hurt the children or anything?
Today, she said with Gabe on the phone, come take the kids. I don't care what happens to them. Come take them.
Okay, but she didn't make a direct threat towards the kids.
No, not a direct threat.
Okay. And then she said that she would murder you through a spiritual.
No, she said, I can murder you.
I can murder you.
And
And she's talking in a
I will kill you.
spiritual.
No, she's talking physically. I will kill you because you're not Charles, and nobody will care.
Okay. So she at this point doesn't think you are her husband?
She thinks I'm Nick Schneider.
Who's Mick
I
Schneider?
have no idea.
Okay.
The name she used. I don't know where
Right.
it came from.
Chad.
I'm just like, I'm as bewildered as you are. This is so foreign to me. Normal people, as far as I'm concerned, that this
Wow.
happens, it just drives me. I don't know what to do. I need
Just-
help, and she needs help. She needs help, and I'll go to bed. I got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. I got to take my son. To
And you
school,
just
take care of
didn't
him.
want to go inside because
I'm not
of
gonna
the
do
statements that she made?
She took my car and my. I suspect she took my car and my keys. I have no keys to get in.
Oh, okay.
No garage door opener.
Okay.
She knows what she's doing. She took $35,000 out of our bank account today. I can't make payroll Friday for my company. It's just she changed our bank account numbers. I had to change it myself to get back in, and I saw all the money's gone. I've got
Which
$7 in my name.
which we know that Lori had to have been the one that put a code onto his life insurance policy. So that seems to track with what Lori does. So Lori changed the bank account stuff. Lori changed the code on his, he didn't have one on his life insurance policy. Ugh.
Bank account numbers. I had to change it myself to get back. She got today. I can't make payroll Friday for my company. It's just she changed our bank account numbers. I had to change it myself to get back in, and I saw all the money's gone. I've got $7 in my name.
So, what's your first name again?
Charles.
Charles. Charles lives here with his wife and 2 children. Charles was away on
There's a
business.
third nephew upstairs. His name is Zach. He's 19. He's our nephew. He can stay with us.
Have you tried to call him?
Yeah, he won't call me back either.
Why won't he call you
I
back?
don't know.
Okay.
That's what I'm worried about. I hope they're okay, but I don't know. It's valid.
All right. So his question is, he lives here. There's no orders against either one of them. If we can't make contact.
If he wants to let us in, now we're doing a 670 check.
I don't know how to get in. I can have to break a window. I can try to.
Where I was going with this, he was in Houston on a business trip, and then he flies back in to Sky Harbor, and his truck's gone. He suspects that she went there and took the truck. He doesn't know.
Use my wallet in it, so.
All right. So, all right. Is it this house or the one with the flashing lights?
Right there.
On the side of the road.
Oh, where those palm trees are?
I miss his voice.
And I can try the key code on the garage. I don't know if they changed it or not. I think I know the code. We just moved in January 1st. And
We just moved in January.
Bonilla here lives right
Gabe
down the
Bonilla
corner.
here.
He will tell you if he was on the phone with her today with me. I texted in and she said all that stuff.
Okay.
Does she have any inside the house? She does?
Right.
Does she know how to use
I
it?
don't know if she knows how to use it. I don't know.
Does
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna pause this one. We're gonna break into where'd it go? This no. That's the screen. Okay, hold on. Oh, right here. Okay. Okay. This is Lori Vallow Daybell and Tylee Ryan and Melanie Gibb visit with the Gilbert police in January 2019. Well, actually, that's not a good idea because this was the next day. So, okay, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Oh, oh. Hold on. I kind of skipped though. Well, no, that's gone before the actual shooting. So, my bad. Okay. I'm just it's like the timeline in my head. I'm trying to kind of put these in some kind of order, but I was doing fine. Oh, I didn't. So hold on. God dang it. I'm screwing up. Okay, here we go.
Oh, there you go.
I miss him. I do. Thank you.
Car's all gone.
Wow.
She's gone.
You know what's crazy is Ken Krogh had this video in his list of like in a playlist on YouTube. I was like, okay, why you got my family's case videos, Ken Krogh? Yeah, Divergent. I'm so sorry that happened to you and your daughter, or your family. Just horrible.
They're all gone.
Is there anything in her place in here, like she might have taken off somewhere?
All 4 cars are gone.
Oh, yeah, 4 cars.
Yeah. My daughter has one. Zach, our nephew, has one. I have my truck, and she has an Infinity.
Okay.
I don't know what my son.
Oh, y'all. Oh, I forgot.
Who's the older?
So also, and some stuff that I collected, from moms, from obviously, Uncle Charles's things, right? There was this ticket that had a picture of a Q Infinity, a black Infinity, just like what he said right there. And it was a ticket that she got on June 15th, I want to say, of 2019. And it was ripped up, and I'm like, oh my God. So did did Lori rip that up after, when she went to Charles's house after he was murdered and throw it away? And then it just ended up, being collected whenever they went and got, my mom and them and his sons got there to get the rest of his stuff out of that house in Houston. And so that's just interesting. And it's also interesting that Lori traded that nice vehicle in for a vehicle, a Nissan Rogue that was put in her and Alex's name. I just find that it's different, because I think she was materialistic actually. Unlike what Summer has said. Anyways, it reminded me of that. Oh, there was also a letter from Zach Cox to Charles, and Zach was thanking Charles for letting him stay there, and he wrote something silly on it at the very end. He was like, I miss our $5 Subway. They'd get $5 Subways, all the time. And I'll have to share it with y'all one day. I don't have it right here, and there's another one from Adam Cox to Charles and Lori about it was something to the tune of thanking Charles and Lori for allowing them to stay there. I don't know when it was. I don't know all the things, but I'll share that with y'all too one day.
Who's the oldest child?
Tylee, I have 3 in college, so they're gone.
Who lives here? That's the
Tylee
oldest.
is 16. Zach is 19. He's our nephew. He's living here.
Okay.
He's working for Brandon.
You tried calling him?
Yes.
Why won't he
I don't know. He won't answer. She's got him buffaloed too. I don't know what she told him.
Buffaloed.
Okay. And then
there's back doors, but they're locked up.
Yes, Ray.
Yeah. Well, but there's a key to the I gotta jump this gate to get out of the pool.
I can't jump a gate and I'm 46. That's all I'm saying.
Do I call it stolen car report of my truck?
Yeah, you'll have to call. It was at Sky Harbor, right? You'll have to call Phoenix Police and they'll.
Oh, I wonder if they
get
have
all
an
your
airport
information.
camera. I wonder.
You don't have a hidden key,
No, it's in the house.
It's in the house.
so it's not hidden.
JJ can open it, but we have to push locks really.
Understand.
Well, go back in the house and get it. She has a good mama or daddy. Divergent, for sure.
He doesn't bark much. He's a service dog. Very well trained, but he would be barking. They wouldn't leave him here. He's a part of the family. So I'm gonna go
He's a part of the family.
back door. I may break the window. Is that okay?
I have to transcribe this.
If you want to break the window, if I was going to break something, I'd probably break your garage door.
Yeah.
Still secure your garage, but your windows would.
Just check the windows, and if it's not locked, come back. Or if it's locked, come back.
So this is January 31st. They just moved in the house January 1st. This is already happening. You know, like, this is crazy. Lori and Chad were already sealed at this time, October 26, 2018. I'm sorry, November. They met October 26, 2018. They got sealed in the temple, let's see, November 16th, allegedly, 2018. So this is January 31st, 2019. We had just had New Year's Eve with Uncle Charles and JJ. We celebrated my son's birthday. I've shared that video with you guys before.
Yes, I open that door.
It's
That would be
crazy.
my suggestion is if you're going to break something, break that door because you can still lock it in the garage.
You want to check your front door to make sure it's not unlocked?
If that gate is locked, I would go. Trust me, I know.
Oh, okay,
It's just-
Divergent.
it's there. So there's just a big deadbolt
I get
here.
you.
All right. Well,
Kick it in.
Swift kick will do it.
I'd do a mule kick. Try that first.
Oh my God.
You got to get closer to the.
I guess.
It's not easy to get on TV, is it?
Oh man, this is horrible. He's turning red.
Oh,
I can see the red. Wow. He's a strong guy. He just scaled a damn fence. He's 60 damn too.
Gabe, come on over.
Yeah, Gabe.
Come on up.
See, I mean, is Gabe on the phone with Jason Mao?
Anybody in there?
An empty bed.
Is there furniture?
I'll get myself out. I'll figure out a way to get in.
Look, I'm like turning my head all sideways so I can look with him. That's crazy. She is such a narcissist. Y'all, she's cut off contact. She wouldn't talk to him.
You don't have a dog door? You have a dog door?
She's,
I get you. I get you, Divergent.
If he's not at school tomorrow, I'll report that. I have no choice. He's special needs. I don't know what she's done. Nobody will call me.
He's mad. Defeated.
You have any tools?
No.
Wow. If they're like 20-something-year-old old, I'm being really mad. Oh, y'all. We gotta be cool.
If we get hurt, but you want to try it?
How about it?
Yeah, hold. He loosened it for you. at that noise? It's like
You want us to enter the home, right?
Door, please. Somebody in the house?
this is horrible transcription. Jeanette.
Department.
Janetta. They're both guilty. AF. Yeah, the doorknob. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Here, just hang tight right there.
What's that?
Just hang tight right here.
Why? Who's he telling that to? Gabe? Hang tight right here.
Closets. There's a bunch of empty shelving.
Empty shelving.
Oh, right here.
What happens
Hang
with
tight. Hang tight.
JJ's bedroom?
Hold on.
You know he's not here.
Pictures are off the wall.
Is this room clear? Does it go through?
It just goes through. I didn't go in there though.
Yeah, they had that was JJ a bed. It looked like. Let's see. We'll end as soon as this is over. We'll pick up again next time.
Oh.
It's all clear.
Oh my God. I can't do that. She's. I don't get this, guys. What have I done?
Who's he talking to? What have I done? Yeah, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, please. Help me get back in the algorithm. Being punished. I appreciate it.
I think there might be a house down here. Yeah.
That's Gabe. Okay. Oh, we'll get you, girl. We will be back for you there, Melanie. Melanie's we'll be back for you. Oh my God. All right. So I wrote down the videos that we did watch today. And so what I'll do is, because I mean, there's the Alex Cox video, body, where they are doing the interview we just read the report, right? So we'll do that one. And then of course, Lori and Tylee's as well. We need to do those. Not today, but we'll do those. And then it kind of sucks because they're all they kind of play into this. And anyway, so I'll get those lined up in my mind, and I'll write them down and actually line them up. And so we'll just kind of pick back up where we left off. It seems like a lot now, so I don't know whether I know like Megan goes live on Wednesdays, I think, yeah. And she also uploads on Sundays. And then I'm gonna just have to kind of maneuver around Colby's schedule, to just kind of work around that. And I think just because of all the body cam videos and stuff like that, I think because I want to incorporate them in this. Yeah. So just be on the lookout for me to schedule a live stream to just kind of we'll chomp at these body cam videos until we get majority of them down, and then we can start. After we get all the things out, then we can start. What am I trying to say? We can start just kind of cherry picking after that. Okay, so yeah, they don't get any easier. He was so aggravated, and yeah, it's a damn shame. He went through the right channels. He went to authorities. He went to his spiritual counselors, and hire you. That's what I teach my kids to do. I always taught them to go and tell someone that can help them. I never have taught my kids to be scared of police. I've never been that kind of parent. But I mean, if anybody watched the Ruby Frankie and Jody Hildebrand situation, how everybody was so scared to talk to the cops or just would not talk to the cops. Ruby Frankie was like, she just sat there in silence. That is what is, it's a breeding ground for this kind of behavior. And I mean, I'm not saying everybody is like that. I know I would never say that because that's ignorant as hell, but it is very prevalent, it's there. So anyways, I appreciate you being here, and justice for Charles. Finally. I just hope it's not too bad of a shit show. I mean, that's all I can do. And I also heard somebody bring up a point, like, do you have, like, if you're a witness testify, if you're Colby, if you're Brandon, if you are Kay, and you're called to testify, do you have to have Lori be the one to do it? Or can you request that her backup lawyer do it? I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder if that's an option that they could at least ask. That's all you can do is ask. And all they can do is tell you no. So I do too. I wish that too. A lot of us do. He does seem amazing. I know. He does. I like him. He seems like a no bullshit kind of guy. It is. It is. But I mean, it's a vow I made to him for sure. For sure. For sure. I was just like, I promised that I would not stop until everyone with my family's blood, that's Charles included, on their hands was held accountable. And so that's what I try to do. He did hold it together so well. He did. You've never seen that, really? Okay, well, good. I'm glad you got to see it today. I'm sorry, and I'm glad you got to see it today, if that, you know what I mean. Yeah. So, and yeah, was that, he should, because in another body cam video, which was the one I was going to show you guys, but it just kind of was not in the right place at that time, was when Lori, Tylee, and Melanie show up at the police station at Gilbert Police Department because Charles had retrieved her purse while she was picking JJ up. He was just trying. I understand why he did it. Is it right? No, but I understand why he did it. I do. He was trying to get Lori's damn attention. She was ignoring him. He was trying to get her mental help. And anyways, but they show up there, and the one officer goes and calls Bishop Gabe Bonilla, and he talks about Lori's language basically in that phone call that Charles patched. he said he patched Gabe Bonilla in on the phone call between him and Lori. And so Gabe, this is where he minimizes it, in my opinion, and he basically says language to the liking of, she said destroy, but it was very lucid. He didn't give it any kind of seriousness or nothing to help Charles, in my opinion. It was very minimal. And it just is interesting again that Melanie Gibb talked about how, she loose lips, boy. Oof, Melanie Gibb. Excuse me. But she talked about how Gabe Bonilla called Melanie Gibb whenever Alex Cox died at Zelema's house, okay? And Gabe called Melanie Gibb, according to Melanie Gibb. Gabe called her and said, "Hey, why is there such a heavy police force or police presence, I'm sorry, at Zelema and, where Alex is, basically." And Melanie Gibb's like, "Well, I don't know. Let me go find out and I'll call you back." And so this is out of her own mouth, okay? We would not know that unless Melanie Gibb liked to bump her nasty gums. But here we are. And so it just, because Gabe Bonilla is a bishop and lives in basically, obviously, where he can see Zelema's damn house. If this is true, according to Melanie Gibb, then, and they have each other's phone numbers and they're calling each other. And is this the same bishop that issued Lori Vallow her temple recommend? Because that's another thing, okay, that needs to, why is Charles calling Gabe Bonilla bishop if he's not a bishop to them? Or is, because they just moved there, is he a new bishop to them? Or, what I'm saying? Was he a bishop in the past that they called bishop, in a different ward? I don't know how that works. And I don't know the whole story, but Gabe Bonilla is also the illustrator for Jason Mao. And he is also listed on the business account for Jason Mao. I'll bring that up whenever it's time for that to come in, but there's a contract and you can see Jason Mao and his time to warrior up, whatever the hell his books are called. I don't even remember. But the war chapters or something along those lines. And so Gabe did all the art for that. And I just think they're more close than too close for comfort. Let's just say that. And yeah, okay. But it also made me think about how whenever I first met Jen, Jen, so I remember one time she told me, she was like, "Well, you point out on the PDF that we were looking at." She was like, "You point out all the things that, catch your eye or that are alarming to you." She's like, "'Cause I always look at this. So it looks normal to me." This language, it was a PDF, of religious scriptures and stuff. And I'm like, "Oh my God, I didn't realize that is normal for someone who grew up in the church versus me, who's just like point, 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 I'm pointing it all out." And so that was interesting to me to know that. And so it made me wonder if Gabe did it on purpose, to minimize the situation with Charles and Lori, or is he just used to this? And so it's just normal, this kind of talk. Because there seems to be a lot of manipulation or spiritual manipulation from a lot of people, not even just that church, it's from a lot of churches. I'm just saying, a lot of church people are very judgmental and they will use those scriptures to control you to whatever degree, whatever that is. I've done it. I'm sure I've been like, Jesus is watching you or something. I'm just saying, I'm sure it happens more than we even like to admit. But I know. I just want change, man. I want there to be some kind of mental health training for these officers. My brother suffers from, I've watched my brother be, oh my God, it was bad. One night, Todd was nutting up bad. And it was just me and Mom at their house and Todd. Larry wasn't there. I think he was on a run. My daughter, and thank God my daughter, wasn't there either. So that was good. But, Todd was just nutting up, and I remember I grabbed his keys, like, because I didn't want him to drive, and then I ran. I was a little bitty back then, and I was running, and then, I sprayed my brother in the face with mace, pepper spray or whatever, because, he was out of control. I didn't go grab a gun, that's for damn sure, okay? So there's that. I didn't go grab a gun, okay? I wouldn't, but there was this I know this is very personal, but there was this one part of when he was nutting up where it looked like my mom was standing right in front of him, and my brother it was like some hedge trimmers or something. He hit his own head with the trimmers, but it looked like he was hitting my mom. Either way, it freaked me out, and so we were waiting on the cops to come, and I remember my mom saying that it was a mental health thing. And so it was just like keeping him at bay until they got there. And so when they got there, and so much, it was crazy. It was crazy. It was scary. And it was so sad. Um, it's like seeing someone you love self-destruct right before your very eyes. And you feel so helpless because you just want them to have help. You really just want, I want him to see himself through my eyes, the way I see him, and not the way he sees himself. Well, so an ambulance showed up too. And I remember he was not responding to the policeman. I went to go grab the policeman some waters. They were little bitty waters, and I had them all in my arms. Okay. And I went to go and bring them to the ones that were outside. And two of the officers, I want to say there were two, could have been more, right in the front door, there were these double doors, in the foyer, I guess you could say. And they came in and they told Todd to drive, but they look like guns. Okay. I don't know. I'm just there trying to walk through there to go bring the rest of the people some water. And they ordered him to, whatever, to follow their orders. And he wouldn't. He was just standing there. I don't know. It was crazy. And they discharged the oh my God. Whew, they were stun guns, but they were you didn't have to put the stun gun up to the person. It had a whatever. I don't know what this called right now because I can't even believe I'm saying this. But they discharged their stun guns, and I don't know. You just heard the electricity. I didn't know that they were those kind of stun gun. They were stun guns. I thought they were real guns. And so, I remember dropping to my knees right there because I saw my brother just, just fall over like an elephant, just boom. And I fell to my knees and waters were flying everywhere. And I was just like, no. It was pretty freaking terrorizing and scary. And there needs to be people, at least one officer and an officer that is trained in this arena. Okay. Because this happens way more than it doesn't. There are so many people who are in our jail systems right now that need to be mentally evaluated, to be helped mentally. Even drugs now are in the DSM. Okay. And that's what's clogging all that up and not getting these people the real help that they need in the first place. Then it becomes, they become a criminal and not a patient in need. And it's sad because I see it's like I'm experiencing different sides of this. Like Lori and Chad are in prison, yet they murdered people. And then I have my brother. He's also in prison. He didn't murder people. He had his son murdered. But he's been in this cycle, insanity. Keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And it has to be when that person is ready. That's one thing I've learned. You cannot force, and I don't care who you are. I don't care if it was Lori and doing an intervention with her beliefs and not a drug. That is her drug. And so you can't just like make someone because you decided to have an intervention. That doesn't make one ready, like, so I don't know I don't know how to go about that. I don't have answers for all this, but this is definitely something I'm very passionate about, and it affects my life, my people I love dearly. And I just wish and hope that there would be more um aid, more training in this area where they could diffuse these situations. They could get people to the appropriate, did they do something criminal or did they do something, in the mental health arena? I don't know. I don't have all the answers, but I'm just glad we're talking about it. It was horrible. It really was. And it's just, you just, I was hyper vigilant. And actually, whenever they all left, they did take my brother in an ambulance and they brought him to the hospital. But I remember after they left and it was just me and mom, she noticed that I had said, look, I don't know. This is just me reacting in the moment. I don't know. There was no planning ahead, but all that was happening. And while it was happening, I was setting up like little stations throughout the house with like a dowel. There was like a wooden dowel that I could just grab and just whatever I had to do, right? Like, I don't want to hurt my brother, but I definitely don't want him to hurt himself or anybody else or me or my mom, like it was just such a tough situation. And I know that I'm probably talking to you guys here who have experienced something along those lines. It's not like it's just, in a vacuum or anything. This happens more than I like to even think. So we need to talk about it. We need to talk about it. But anyways, I'm glad you were here. And I mean, this is your time, your energy, and I just appreciate you spending it here tonight. So justice for Tylee, Charles, Tammy, JJ, and Joe. Love always wins. You guys are proof of this. See you next time.